Fall Sports Senior Night Recognition Celebration. Tonight we will recognize the members of the class of 2024 who have participated in varsity football, cross country, volleyball, soccer, tennis, cheerleading, lancerettes, marching band, and hockey. Our first senior football player this evening is Patrick Argero. Patrick is the son of Mark and Kelly Argero. Patrick's a member of the football team, also a member of Layups for Lucy, student government, ski club, and upon graduation, Patrick plans to attend college to play football and major in accounting with a minor in sports management. Our next senior football player, Anthony Bonner. Anthony is the son of Mike Bonner and Tricia Bonner. He's a member of FBLA, student government, National Honor Society, Layups for Lucy, and the varsity basketball team. Upon graduation, Anthony plans to attend college. Jaden Cartwright. Jaden is the son of Jeffrey and Christina Cartwright. He's a member of Rise Mentoring, the Neshannock Volunteer Fire Department, and Conservation Club. Upon graduation, Jaden plans to join IBEW to further his electrical education and then pursue a career as an electrician with the initiative to start his own business. Marcello Cirasi. I gotta find his, yeah, he's on the wrong page. Where'd my page go? He is the son of Paula and Joe Cirasi. He's a member of our football team and our varsity hockey team. Upon graduation, Marcello plans to attend a four-year college to study electrical engineering. Our next senior is Carter DeVivo. Carter is the son of Chris and Beth DeVivo. He's a member of National Honor Society, Ski Club, and Layups for Lucy. Carter is also treasurer of FBLA and student government. Upon graduation, Carter plans to attend a university for a 6-year degree to pursue a career in pharmacy. Aiden, oh, now I'm on. Braden Huff. Braden is the son of Mary Ann and Ryan Huff. Braden is a member of football, track, and field, and upon graduation, Braden plans to attend a 4-year college or university to study business. Anthony Less. Anthony is the son of Brian and Jennifer Less. He was a member of our mock trial team, and upon graduation, he would like to attend college to study exercise science. Jackson Mazzocco. Jackson is the son of John and Jenna Mazzocco. Jackson is also a member of our varsity basketball team. He's a member of FBLA, student government, Club Hope, and Layups for Lucy. Upon graduation, Jackson would like to continue his football career at the collegiate level. Michael Ponzianzi. Michael is the son of Michael and Ginger Ponzianzi. He's a member of the varsity football team, member of National Honor Society, and TSA. Upon graduation, Michael plans to attend college, play football, and study computer science. Aiden Schaefer. Aiden is the son of Greg and Veronica Schaefer. He's a member of National Honor Society, and upon graduation, he plans to attend college to enter into the Physician's Assistant program. For our varsity cheerleaders, Brianna Bailey. Brianna is the daughter of William and Jacqueline Fleming. She's a member of the varsity competitive cheer squad and varsity tennis. Brianna is also a member of the Superintendent's Advisory Council, FBLA, and Student Government. She's senior class vice president and a competitive dancer at Jennifer Lee's Dance Gallery. Upon graduation, Brianna plans to attend college to obtain a degree in nursing with hopes of becoming a neonatal nurse practitioner. Sophia Cavelli. Sophia is the daughter of Jeff and Tamara Cavelli. She's a member of the varsity competitive cheer squad, varsity tennis team, and varsity golf team. She's a member of National Honor Society, Student Government, FBLA, Mock Trial, Peer Leadership, and the Layups for Lucy Committee. Sophia is a 2023 WPIAL Girls Golf Individual Champion. Upon graduation, Sophia plans to continue golfing at the collegiate level while studying law or enrolling in a golf management program. Ava DeVincentis. Ava is the daughter of Mark and Melanie DeVincentis. She's a member of the varsity competitive cheer squad, a member of our Layups for Lucy Committee and National Honor Society. She's also a first grade teacher assistant and an ALA certified lifeguard. Upon graduation, Ava plans to attend college and hopes to continue with her cheerleading. Juliana Medor. Juliana is the daughter of Jason and Bobby Medor. She's a member of the varsity competitive cheer squad and varsity tennis. Juliana is also president of the class of 2024, vice president of FBLA, treasurer of National Honor Society, event organizer for Layups for Lucy, and a trustee for the Neshannock Township Education Foundation. Upon graduation, Juliana plans to attend college to study optometry. Elena Noga. Elena is the daughter of Russell and Ann Noga. She's a member of the varsity cheer squad, varsity competitive cheer, and varsity tennis. Elena is also a member of Layups for Lucy Committee, president of National Honor Society, vice president of our student government, and a third grade cheer coach. Upon graduation, Elena plans to attend college and later attend dental school to become an orthodontist. Haley Stoner. Haley is the daughter of Mark and Elisa Stoner. She's a member of the varsity cheer squad and varsity competitive cheer squad. Haley is a member of the Layups for Lucy Committee and Health and Wellness Committee. She's a competitive dancer at Jennifer Lee's Dance Gallery, student government representative, and a fifth grade cheer coach. Upon graduation, Haley plans to attend college with an intended major of exercise science. Ella Stroya. Ella is the daughter of Matthew and Andy Stroya. Ella is also a member of our varsity competitive cheer squad, a member of Layups for Lucy Committee, and Ski Club. She also serves as a fourth grade cheer coach. At this time, her future plans are undecided. Now for our senior cross country, Evan Hendry. Evan is the son of Jonathan and Kylie Hendry. He's a member of our varsity cross country team and upon graduation plans to attend college to major in supply chain management. Brian McConaughey. Brian is the son of Marianne and Eric McConaughey. He's also a member of our varsity hockey team, and upon graduation, he plans to attend trade school. Lindsay Urban. Lindsay is the daughter of Jim and Jolene Urban. She's a member of the varsity tennis team, National Honor Society, and Club Hope. Upon graduation, Lindsay plans to attend Liberty University to major in accounting and financial planning. And now for the senior members of the Lancer golf team, Jacob Avu. Jacob is the son of Jennifer and Michael Avu. He's a member of Layups for Lucy, Ski Club, and our mock trial team. Upon graduation, Jacob plans to attend college to major in accounting and finance. Robbie Heath. Robbie is the son of Rob and Alyssa Heath. He's a member of the varsity golf team, and he's also a member of Layups for Lucy, FBLA, and upon graduation, he plans to attend college to study accounting. Michael Melorano. Michael is the son of John and Leslie Melorano. He's a member of the varsity golf team, along with FBLA and National Honor Society. Upon graduation, he plans to attend college. Ian Mentz. Ian is the son of Rob and Caroline Mentz. He's a member of Layups for Lucy, Ski Club, and our mock trial team. Upon graduation, Ian plans to study accounting in college. Matthew Morelli. Matthew is the son of Michael Morelli and Beth Picone. He's a member of the golf team and is ranked among the top 10 golfers in the PIAA. He's also a member of the mock trial team, and upon graduation, plans to attend college to study accounting. Joey Presner. Joey is the son of Bill and Leanne Presner. He's a member of Layups for Lucy Committee, and upon graduation, plans to attend college. Max Vitale. Max is the son of Stephen and Nicole Vitale. He's among the top 15 golfers in the PIAA, member of Layups for Lucy, FBLA, and our ski club. Upon graduation, he plans to continue playing college golf at the collegiate level and attend college majoring in business. Now for our senior Lancerettes. Samantha Angelucci. Samantha is the daughter of Kim Angelucci and Sam Angelucci. She's a member of National Honor Society, Club Hope, Rotary Interact, and Senior High Choir. Upon graduation, Samantha plans to attend Penn State University to pursue a degree in the agricultural field. Jaden Parada. Jaden is the daughter of Victor Rossi and Melissa Parada Rossi. She's a member of FBLA, a member of our student government, and president of Club Hope. Jaden plans to attend college to major in biology after graduation. Paige Stewart. Paige is the daughter of Melissa and Brian Stewart. Upon graduation, Paige plans to attend Youngstown State University to major in social services. Now for members of the Lancer Marching Band. Elizabeth Baum. Elizabeth is the daughter of Karen and Jerry Baum. She's a member of the Community Art Club, Musical, Girl Scouts, and the Adventurers Club. Upon graduation, Elizabeth plans to attend college to pursue a career in art therapy. Parker Dayton. Parker is the daughter of Aaron and Jennifer Dayton. She's also a member of our soccer team, a member of track and field, ski club, Girl Scouts, archery, and jazz band. After graduation, Parker plans to attend Allegheny College to continue playing soccer at the collegiate level and major in biology. She then plans to go to graduate school and get a PhD in paleontology. Rachel Doran. Rachel is the daughter of Lucia and Tom Doran. She's also president of the Technology Student Association, public relations officer of National Honor Society, and student director of our fall musical. Rachel is a grade level captain and section leader in the band, a member of track and field, and a member of Club Hope. Upon graduation, Rachel plans to attend college to major in aerospace engineering. Roger Quat. Roger is the son of Bob and Martine Quat. He's also a member of the varsity cross-country team, member of Club Hope, FBLA, and National Honor Society. Upon graduation, he would like to attend college with an intended major of biology. Mia Perino. Mia is the daughter of Christiane and David Perino. She's a member of the Art Club, Girl Scouts, and All-Star Band. Upon graduation, Mia would like to attend Slippery Rock University to major in history education with a minor in music. Andrew Pino. Andrew is the son of Lori Balderac and David Pino. He enjoys hunting, fishing, and playing his trombone. At this time, his future plans are undecided. Sarah Schrun. Sarah is the daughter of Paul and Sochit Schrun. She's a member of Club Hope, Art Club, Senior High Concert Band, and Senior High Choir. Upon graduation, she plans to attend college to major in illustration or studio arts. Madeline Ubry. Madeline is the daughter of Chad and Christina Ubry. She's a member of National Honor Society, Culinary Club, Club Hope, and Senior High Choir. Upon graduation, she would like to attend college to major in environmental science. Girls tennis team. Chloe Maloof. Chloe is the daughter of Dr. and Mrs. Maloof. She's president of our student government, Region 2 FBLA president, vice president of National Honor Society, a student trustee on the board of the Neshannock Township Education Foundation, and a competitive dancer at Jennifer Lee's Dance Gallery. Upon graduation, Chloe plans to attend a four-year university to pursue a bachelor's degree in biochemistry on the pre-med track in hopes of going into the surgical field. Alexa Ong. Alexa is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Richard Ong. She's a member of the Forensics Club and Rotary Interact. She volunteers with the Cinderella Ball Leadership Forum, participates in the school musical, and plays the piano. Upon graduation, she would like to attend college to major in computer science. And now for senior members of our volleyball team. Caitlin Fries. Caitlin is the daughter of Daniel and Esther Fries. She's a member of the basketball team, FBLA, student government, where she is the class secretary, and vice president of Club Hope. Upon graduation, Caitlin plans to attend college. Catherine Nativio. Catherine is the daughter of Jason and Jennifer Nativio. She's a member of the volleyball and softball teams and ski club. Upon graduation, Catherine plans to attend college to major in finance and accounting. Bella Parad is the daughter of Nick Jr. and Maureen Parad. She's a member of National Honor Society, Ski Club, and Club Hope. Upon graduation, Isabella plans to attend a four-year college or university to major in business. We'd also like to recognize the members of the Lancer hockey team, Nick Butchie, Brian McConaughey, Giovanni Valentine, and Marcello Cerisi this evening. Congratulations to the 2024 Fall Sports Seniors, the administration, faculty, staff, and parents of the Neshannock Township School District. Wish the class of 2024 the best of luck. Congratulations.
gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet. Coming to you live from Bob Bledgy Stadium, it's WPIAL Week 9 football action here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. The MAC Championship on the line. The 8-1 Neshannock Lancers hosting the 8-1 Mohawk Warriors. Glad to be here at Bob Bledgy Stadium for this championship contest. Can't believe it. We're saying it. We're to the end of the season. One of these teams will be undefeated conference champions and likely have a home playoff game, maybe even a first-round bye as well at the end of this one. Eric Thomas alongside. I'm James Dotson with a cast of thousands, so it feels like, here with the Lawrence County SportsNet. Eric, what more can you ask for? Two local rivals going to dish it out here in the final week of the season with a conference championship on the line.
Everything you could ask for in a week, the final week of the regular season, the biggest game of the year between the two teams that have played the best, both on 8-game win streaks, both lost in the first week of the season. Both have had a couple of narrow victories, one each against Beaver Falls, but these two teams seem like they've been on a collision course since about week 4. We finally get it here tonight. A lot at stake. They're both safe as far as the playoffs, but both want that conference championship. Both want that first-round bye. Both want to be a top 2 seed, and both, we'll see who blinks first, aren't going to want to give up their winning streak.
I was going to say both just want more than anything to beat their local rival. 13 miles apart, that's all these two schools are. They've played each other now 43 times in their history after tonight. And to say it's an even split, well, that's about as close as you can get. Mohawk, 20 wins, 19 losses, and 3 ties in the all-time series. But all that means absolutely nothing when it comes to tonight's game. It's win, and you got an extra week off. That's about all you can say.
Yeah, and the only team in 2A that's ranked in the state rankings, according to Penn Live, is Steel Valley. So we expect them to be the number 1 seed. They should be. They deserve it. Number 2, though, is going to have a lot to say when all's said and done.
We're going to pause for the playing of our national anthem from the Lancer Marching Band. Your national anthem and the alma mater from the Neshannock High School Marching Band under the direction of Miss Kim Heim and the Lena Grossman, the drum major, and a little tradition that we make sure we keep on keeping on here at lcsportsnet.com. Our dear and departed colleague Mark Shaw's a Neshannock graduate. He and Lee Moe would always have the call on the games on old WJST for all the years here, Eric, and every time it came down to it, when it came to the time for the anthem, and then the alma mater, Mark, for his alma mater at Neshannock High School would always just stay standing and silent. Lee would go ahead and maybe say a spiel or two, but in memory of Mark, we always make sure that we get the Neshannock alma mater in its entirety, so Mark can hear it as he's listening and watching us from above. So there's your Mark Schaus shout-out of the evening as we get going on our Washington Center Physical Therapy pregame show. Let Norm Gabriel and the staff at WCPT get you back on your feet. Washington, WashingtonCentrepT.com. Give them a call or visit online to schedule your appointment. 8-1, 6-0 in conference play for both of these teams, Eric. And when we've talked leading up to this game, the thing that I think is most impressive to talk about, Mohawk, one of the best passing attacks in the WPIAL. Neshannock, a team that has one of the most veteran and dominant offensive lines in the entire Western Pennsylvania as well. But the last couple of weeks, it's been the opposite. I mean, Mohawk running the ball last week so effectively, and Neshannock now 2 or 3 weeks in a row where they've been going over 200 yards passing in each game. Which team are we going to see come out for each of these squads tonight is a big question.
All right, you talked to Fred Mazzacco before the game, and I asked him, I said, what's the biggest difference between your quarterback, Gino Mazzacco, between now and earlier in the season? And he said his reads, they trust him a lot more. He's a guy that, when you compare these two quarterbacks, it's going to be almost impossible, at least you would think mentally, to rattle a guy like Jay Rona. You might be able to get that in Gino Mazzacco, and maybe that would have been the case like 8 weeks ago, but not now. He's not a sophomore anymore. This kid has taken the next step over the last few weeks, and he's completed a higher chunk of passes, percentage of passes. He's attempted 98 in the last 3 weeks and doesn't have that many attempts for the season as it is. He's over 60% anyway. He is becoming a big-time threat, and this style of offense in which the quarterback does a lot of both, running and passing, he's really starting to come into his own with the passing attack. We know the running attack's there, but his arm has done a lot of damage to some of these opponents the last 3 weeks. We've
talked a lot about Anthony Aiken, the sophomore running back, and for good reason. He's putting up some monster numbers, 761 yards, 9 total touchdowns on the year. But Pat Argiro has kind of flown under the radar. His last 4 games, 9 touchdowns on the ground in those last 4 games. Just a scoring machine more than anything as it's lights out here on a spooky night. Aaron Vigiano is going to have a little fun tonight as the lights turn in red as the Neshannock Lancers is about to make their way on the field. But that 1-2 punch of Aiken and Argiro has been real fun to watch, and then with Mazzacco running the ball as well. They've just been eating it up behind that big O-line.
Different style than the rushing attack we saw last week with Southside Beaver against Union. This is more of a traditional style rushing attack in which you don't know which guy is going to have the hot hand, but you ride him either way. And Argiro has been fantastic, as you said. He has also had some big runs this year, a 49-yard run to his credit this season. So he's got the speed, excellent compliments. And then when you start mixing in these wide receivers, if Mazzacco is going to continue to throw the football, their whole arsenal, this is a team, James, that is really on the rise. And that's not to say that Mohawk has already peaked or maybe they've played their best football, but this Neshannock team has gotten better and better every single week of the season. You really go back to those 2 one-point wins early on, and they have just become a team that has gotten better and better. If Mohawk's going to get them, that's a big win tonight. And if Neshannock wins this game, you can't be surprised because they've been playing their best football of late.
Let's flip the script as the team's making their way out of the tunnel and through the banners. Let's talk about the Mohawk offense real quick. I mean, the number of records that have been set by this offense, Jay Rona and Bobby Fadden specifically, has just been astronomical. But the fun part is that it's not just a 1 or 2 man crew. They have so many weapons in that passing game. You take away a Bobby Fadden, well, they got a Dante Retort. You take away Dante Retort as well, then you got Blake Logan or Justin Boston coming out of the backfield. So many weapons, and and Jay Rona does a great job of distributing it so well and not really keying in on any one guy.
And you know who really hasn't been a big target, in fact, at all this season in their offense is the tight end position. Yep. And when you get these games that are tight, and maybe this Neshannock defense finally has the recipe to take away all those weapons to throw the football to, that's when you start leaking a tight end over the middle of the field and they start having a big game. We haven't seen much out of Leighton Wagner from a receiving standpoint, anything really out of him all season long. So keep an eye on him tonight if this game is tight. And you're right, it's hard to take away one of those guys. They have burners everywhere. Beaver Falls did a great job of taking everybody away, and then all of a sudden Retort goes 92 yards and they win that game. So you can slow them down as long as you possibly can, and you can hold on as long as you possibly can, but eventually at some point, Rona's right arm and these receivers are going to take over a football game.
Captains are going to meet at midfield. While they do, Eric, let's talk about some of our keys to the game tonight. Keys to the game brought to you by Works in Progress Paint Services. Call Joe Wright at 724-714-4294 to discuss your next project.
Yeah, really, it starts for Neshannock. They got a lot of pressure on Smiley and Elwood City last week. Expect that early. They were really in the backfield a lot. Braden Montgomery had a great first half in that game last week, slowing down that Elwood City attack. Obviously, they have the home field advantage tonight. It's a good crowd. It's a great night, a perfect night for football. That'll play a factor. And if you're Mohawk, you just said it about spreading the wealth. And we've talked about their defense in the past, too. They bend, but they don't break. Perfect example, Beaver Falls game. Bent all night long until the very end of it when they finally got the turnover and then turned that into the lead. This defense does not do a lot as far as stopping you. They'll let you get your yards. But then when you get down inside that 20-yard line, they will lock you down just about every time if you get that far. A
packed house here tonight at Bob Bledgy Stadium, and it's been a big-time home field advantage, as you mentioned, for Neshannock. Coach Fred Mazzocco in his 12th year just got his 100th victory with the Lancers last week. He doesn't care about that. He wants number 101, and this is a great place to potentially do it. How about these records? At home in his 12 years as head coach, 44-6. That's right, only 6 times has Neshannock lost at home under Coach Mazzocco. And how about his record against county foes? He wanted to dominate the county. That was his goal when he came here, first and foremost, dominate the county. A 29-4 record. Mohawk has one of those 4 victories, though, against Neshannock, who has won the toss and deferred to the second half. So it'll be the Mohawk offense that will be getting possession here first tonight.
See how they play up the kickoff, because we know the special teams are a big factor for this Mohawk team. They can beat you kicking the football with Josh Wilkins, but these 2 guys that are back deep to receive the kickoff are absolutely lethal. Will they kick it away from them to start?
Still a packed house filing in here at Bob Bledgy Stadium. Deep kick, and how about this? Goes into the end zone for a touchback. So it's not just Wilkins with the big leg. How about Carter DeVivo booting one into the end zone?
Yeah, good start. If you're not going to kick it to him, put it in the end zone. Make them start on the 20, make them go the length of the field. This is an offense that has been red hot all season long. It starts with Jay Rona. He is battle-tested. He is athletically tested. He's athletically gifted. Ball's going to be in his hands first, and we'll see what Neshannock can do defensively against him.
We'll take a look at your Dorn Concrete starting lineups here in full after this first down play. Jay Rona, the senior quarterback, 1,808 yards passing on the year. Just needs 80 yards to be the single season passing yards record holder. He's going down the field on the first play, looking for retort. Caught him with the shoulder at midfield, and he's going to get dragged down at the 36-yard line. Didn't take long to get from one end of the field to the other.
Tight man-to-man coverage on the outside. They brought everybody up to the line of scrimmage. You have to hope, if you're going to play these guys man-to-man, that you can stick with them all the way. Rona dropped that thing into a bucket, and just enough separation from retort for another big play for this offense.
Eric, we saw him on during the warm-ups, and he was just laying them out like that on every single pass in the warm-ups. It is a bit breezy out here. Wondered how the passing game might be affected. No effect there on a 44-yard gain on the first play. Now first handoff for Boston. Bounces it outside. He's got some room. Will get out close to the 30-yard line. Turns something out of nothing. 5-yard pickup.
Blake Logan had the block. Boston tried to follow him and then got tripped up. Was lucky enough to bounce to the outside and keep the play going. You notice that time they dropped the 2 safeties back. They didn't bring everybody up to the line of scrimmage right away. They know now they were tested right away on the first play of the game, and that man-to-man coverage. We'll see if Neshannock will stay back and put those safeties back.
Second down and 6. Ball at the 32-yard line. Boston again in the backfield to the right of Rona. Double tight set. Wagner and Verdi, the 2 lead blockers. Cutting back again. Good read to fall forward inside the 30. Mark him down at the 29-yard line. How about Boston with 40 carries last week?
Yeah, and that's a good sign to see, because we talked about it in our preview this week, that if you're going to win games in the month of November and you get into that first 2 weeks of December, you have to run the football, especially in this part of the state where the weather, we don't know from one day to the next if it's going to snow or be 85 degrees out in these parts. If you can run the football effectively, and Boston did that last week, that's going to go a long way to helping your team stay in the playoffs.
Third down and a long 3. Logan in the slot to the left. See if they'll give Boston for a 3rd straight carry. Now they're going to go with a pass. Rona, quick throw into the flat. Boston has some space, cuts back inside, falls forward. He's going to be just short. Saw the opening. If he continued outside, may have had enough to get the first down, but that hole closed quickly back inside. It will be 4th and short.
Yeah, good job to keep 2 defenders back there for Neshannock to not let Boston get nuts. They brought pressure that time, and that's another asset that this Mohawk team has, is they can dump the ball out of the backfield. Boston we don't call his name a lot receiving the football, but he does have good hands, and he can be an asset if you have to dump it off out of the backfield.
That's his 17th catch of the year out of the backfield. 4th and less than a yard. They're going to go under center for the first time, and we're going to have a Mohawk timeout called, a Pontius Insurance timeout. Make sure you take the timeout and save money on your insurance by giving a call to Pontius Insurance. Jessica Giddings, Tracy Dix, and Dan Pontius himself, PontiusInsurance.com.
Interesting that they would, and it's not a bad idea to go for it here on 4th and 1. You're trying to send a message early, and that little power set they lined up in, and then Tim McCutcheon calls a timeout. Wilkins, do you test him from this distance early in the game? I kind of like, I like the idea of going for it a little bit more, on, especially on 4th and 1. You got down this far, you're just outside the red zone of your opponent on the first drive of the night. Try to drive a nail early. And
here's what's crazy, too. You saw it last week. They had a 4th and 3, ended up having a procedure penalty, made it 4th and 8. Then they decided to bring out the field goal unit, and that's definitely the potential case that they could look at doing here if they wanted to. From here, it would be about a 44-yard field goal. He drilled one from 49 a week ago.
In miserable conditions, and this is on turf tonight with a little bit of wind, but I like the idea of going for it here on 4th and short.
Interesting, though, they are back in shotgun on 4th down and less than a yard. Rona, quick pass to the near side, and they're going to get Fadden on the lead block for a Logan first down.
That was an excellent design of the play. Throw it out to the far side, little cut inside, and then turn upfield with your little pick, your screen set there. Perfectly designed play to pick up the first down for Mohawk.
Well, check that. That was Retort making the catch, so a good call. Bread and butter on 4th down. Go ahead and throw it through the air and extend the drive.
Now he got you down here. You might as well go back to him when you need him on 4th down.
3 for 3 in the early going is Jay Rona. The rest of your Door and Concrete starting lineup. Boston in the backfield. You'll see Cash Stratton, the freshman, in the backfield at times as well. Sam List, unfortunately, in a knee brace, not playing here tonight. A.J. Verdi is the tight end. You'll see him and Wagner. The 3 receivers are going to go a little end around. Fadden's going to get it. Fadden's thrown some passes this year. Could this be one? He will fire towards the end zone, and it's going to be intercepted in the end zone by Neshannock. So the gadget play doesn't work. It's a pick. However, there is a flag at the 18-yard line, so hold the phone.
Watch the replay here. You can't see the coverage down the field, but Fadden was throwing this into double coverage the entire way. They had that well defended against Logan, and it was just a bad mistake. Fadden wanted to get rid of it instead of take the loss and tried to force that into double coverage. Excellent job by the defense. It's against Mohawk. Neshannock will decline it. They'll take over, drive thwarted. Excellent stand by this Lancers defense.
Your first Medora Bonner Law change in possession. Make sure you protect your possessions at MedoraBonnerLaw.com, a community firm with personal connection and individualized service. The flag was for an ineligible man downfield, which was declined. Now Neshannock will be out on the field. We'll look at their Door and Concrete starting lineup here. Gino Mazzocco, the quarterback, 800 passing, 600 rushing on the year. Anthony Aiken, Pat Argero in the backfield. You'll see Braden Montgomery and Ashton Allison as tight ends. Dom Cubelis, Anthony Bonner, Braden Huff are the wideouts that you'll see throughout the night, as well as looking to throw down the field and has a man wide open over the middle. It's Aiken slipping out of the backfield. Another big catch this time for the Lancers. They get a big play on first down and immediately get out of the shadow of their own goalpost.
They delayed the blitz, did Mohawk. Joey Nail at the line of scrimmage. He was up almost in an outside linebacker stand-up end position. You see him bottom of your screen there. He gets tied up because he's not sure what Mazzocco is going to do. Nobody paid attention to Eakin down the middle of the field. No safety help. Big play for Neshannock. They come right back and get to midfield.
About 41 yards. And nifty little pass right over the top from Mazzocco to Anthony Aiken. Now designed to run the whole way from Mazzocco. Makes the first man miss, but then hit by a swarm of Mohawk defenders. By the way, Jackson Mazzocco, Tony Parada, Joey Veronese, Michael Ponziani, and Aiden Schaefer are the 5 on the O-line for Neshannock.
Jackson Chapman that time was in the backfield, and that's who Mazzocco avoided, but he forced him to go back towards the middle, and that defense was waiting there, so Chapman did his job by containing that edge.
2 receivers each way, no gain on that last carry. Mazzocco's going to look near side, caught by Huff, and he's hit immediately by Fadden. Gain of maybe 3 or 4. That's only Huff's 3rd reception of the season.
Well covered on the outside, too, with Boston and Fadden. And we know Justin Boston has a knack for those big defensive plays. We saw him do it against Beaver Falls a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, Boston kind of plays almost a hybrid at times, whether he's an outside linebacker, kind of a safety defensive back. Right now he's the outside backer on the left side, right side of the defense, left side of the offense. They're going to fake jet sweep, fake the handoff up the middle, and now keeping it is Mazzocco fighting forward down to the 44-yard line. Pickup of 3, and now an interesting decision time maybe early for Neshannock. It's a 4th and 4.
Mohawk had that pretty well covered. They thought run at that point. Not surprised that Mazzocco keeps it, but they really had the middle of the field sort of wide open where they could throw it if they wanted to, but Mohawk a good read and react. They knew that Mazzocco was going to keep it that time. They stayed home, and now we got another 4th down.
So Mohawk converted on a 4th and 1. Neshannock will try to answer, and they don't need to because Chapman right up the middle. That's Alex Chapman. Tried to get off the ball too early, and the hard count is going to be successful.
That's a tough break. James, that's a sophomore quarterback who can draw you off sides with a hard count. Said it at the onset tonight. He is not a sophomore anymore. This kid has grown up a lot in recent weeks, and they trust. You see that they trust him with his arm. He throws the ball out of the shadow of his own end zone on 1st down to get to midfield.
You'll see Alex Chapman, Brian Birchfield, Scooter McPherson on that D-line, Jack Mays at times. Jackson Chapman, Justin Boston, A.J. Verdi, and Joey Nail, the linebackers. You'll see Fadden Logan Retort in the secondary. Handoff for Aiken. He's got a big hole. He's got a 1st down at the 30-yard line. There's the lightning speed of one of the fastest guys in the WPIL.
Good job by Mazzocco, too, because that snap was a little high, got it down, handed it off, and what a burst of speed by Aiken that time. Just as fast as some of these wide receivers are for Mohawk, this Neshannock team's got the speed in the backfield for sure.
11-yard pickup down to the 30-yard line. Here's the 6th play of the Lancer drive. Aiken again runs in the back of his own man. And ball's ripped out late in the play, but I think forward progress was stopped as Jackson Chapman with the ball coming out of the pile. Aiken was held up, and good job by Jackson to rip it away, but just a split second too late.
And Alex Chapman had good penetration that time from his defensive tackle spot. This Mohawk defense is doing a decent job early on of reacting, not biting outside of that first play to get to midfield.
Everybody within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage here, Eric. 2nd down and 10. Not expecting to see much over the top apparently so far. Pat Ardro will get his first carry, and there's the Thunder booming forward for a 3 or 4 yard pickup. It'll be a manageable 3rd and 6 coming up.
Now, you might not expect much over the top, but this offensive line for Neshannock is a monster up front, especially interior. The 2 guards, 265, 300. The center, 245. Tackles, both 220, 225. This is a big-time offensive line. Not quite as big as Beaver Falls, but they are as physical as anybody we've seen so far.
Cubelis, the man in motion on 3rd and 6. There'll be a handoff again for Ardro. Cuts it up inside, and he's got nowhere to go. Good job by Mohawk setting the edge defensively there. Believe that was Verdi on the edge there, Eric.
They've done a great job early on at making sure the edge isn't open. Draw those runners back to the middle where the beef of this defense is. McPherson, Chapman, all those guys that clog up the middle. Good job of plugging the hole that time.
North, no gain. It's 4th and 6. 3 receivers set in a quick snap. Mazzocco's going to roll out to the near side, throw towards the corner. It's going to be knocked away. Great job from the defensive back safety position, Joey Nail, with the diving breakup. And you'll have a Maduro Bonner Law turnover on downs.
Well, it's a good job, too, by Mazzocco because he had a man cutting back towards the middle of the field. I think it was Huff. And he was really well covered. If he would have tried to force that ball in there, somebody probably jumps the route, so he throws to the outside, tries to put it in a place where only his guy's going to catch it, but excellent defense by Joey Nail that time. And Mohawk gets the ball right back. Let's see if they go down the field early on again.
Their offensive line, Alex Chapman, Scooter McPherson, Jack Mays, Dylan Sumney, and Brian Birchfield for Mohawk in their road whites. On that first drive, Rona was 3 for 3 for 50 yards, but it was the wide receiver pass for an interception from Fadden that ended the drive in the end zone. Short gain on 1st down, maybe a yard or 2, and that's it for Boston.
They're giving a little bit of cushion on the edges now, is Neshannock. And we know those burners on the outside for Mohawk. They can streak down the field, get somebody backpedaling, could break a big play. But this is, again, what happens when a guy goes with 40 carries and has the hot hand. You stick with him, you get a couple yards on 1st down, you can try to get a couple on 2nd down, give yourself a 3rd and manageable.
2 receivers each way on 2nd down and 9. Rona in the gun, pumps, has to get to the outside, trying to run for his life. Now he will tuck and run, and he's got a 1st down and more across the 40 to the 45, runs out of bounds at the 50. Big gain out towards midfield, a gain of almost 23 yards.
Supposed to be the other quarterback that runs the ball that well, and Jay Rona, who hasn't done a ton this season at running the football, but he the pocket breaks down a little bit. He's got blocking down the field. Good job by Retort on the outside. Frees him up. Rona showing the legs. Gets down the field and a big first down.
19 yards officially on that carry.
And you want, if you do get sucked into third down, you want to be third and manageable because teams are not converting on third down against this Neshannock defense. 29%. So a good job to pick up the first down by Mohawk.
3 receivers to the right now for Rona. And he's actually going to bark out a new signal. How about that for a 4-sport athlete senior leadership? Changing the play at the line. And he's going to go one-on-one down the far sideline, this time too far out in front. Intended on that same play for Retort. Good coverage on the far side by Cubelis.
Yeah, he cut the route off. That was an excellent job to do that. And knowing that Rona might go down the field, he sees that matchup, and he sees all those guys coming up towards the line of scrimmage, and he wants to go one-on-one on the outside. He's going to try to throw it every time. He's going to check to that almost every time.
2nd down and 10, just over 4 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Lots of athletes on the field, lots of senior night recognitions, a couple of state qualifiers for Neshannock in the golf match. On the golf side of things, Sophia Cavelli got her LGKG Athlete of the Month shirt. Handoff up the middle, big hole across midfield goes Boston before Argero brings him down at the 48-yard line. Little draw to slow that rush a little bit there. Gain of 6, so will be 3rd down and 4 upcoming.
Now this is one of those big third downs we talked about. 29%, 29, it's actually 28%, 29 for 101 coming into play tonight. Throw out that first drive that Mohawk had. Teams are not finding any success against this Neshannock defense. They get better the longer the drive goes or the more amount of plays they have to face defensively. And we're going to get a timeout called here, I believe, by Mohawk.
3:27 remaining in the first half here, or in the first quarter, excuse me, between Neshannock and Mohawk. Mohawk, a wide receiver pass that was picked off in the end zone for our first turnover of the game. Neshannock drives down the field, gets inside the 30, but they end up turning it over on down. So both teams getting that bend, don't break here in the early going, Tim. Or, excuse me, Eric.
Yeah.
We're trying to get a hold of Tim down on the sideline here.
They are, both teams have given up the big plays. They've settled in a little bit. You trust Jay Rona in situations, though, because, again, he's looking at what the defense is giving him. If it's tight coverage and guys are up on the line of scrimmage, he's going to try to exploit those one-on-one matchups on the outside. If those guys step back a little bit defensively and they're giving you a little bit of space, 3-4 yards, he goes to the run. He trusts Boston. Big night last week. He's really directing traffic pretty well for this Mohawk team. This is about what we expected, I think, early on. Both teams try to feel each other out. Big plays early, trying to hit a big one. Neither can convert, and comes down to 3rd and 4th down a couple of times here early on in this game. No surprise.
Yeah, neither team has gotten a 3rd down Castle conversion. Brought to you by Castle Asphalt. They provide commercial or residential asphalt paving, commercial site work, or line striping. Visit castleasphalt.com for more information and to request your free estimate. They're going to go with the 3 receivers to the right again, 1 receiver to the left for Rona in the gun. Quick pass to the near side. It's going to be caught by Joey Nail, but that one's read like a book by the defense. Anthony Bonner brings him down after a short gain.
Excellent job. Rona tries to go underneath. Bonner steps up, makes the play right away. Nothing over the top. They backed off a little bit right before the snap. Trying to give Mohawk a little different look, make them think about it at the line of scrimmage. Rona does the right thing by going underneath, but that was very well read by this Neshannock defense.
It looks like they are going to bring the punt team out on 4th down and 3. I got to watch for the hard count here if you're in the Neshannock defense. So you got a hard count the other way. But it is snap back, and Logan to boot it away. Low line drive kick, kind of a sideways spiral, but it's going to take a Mohawk bounce and a beauty inside the 10. Still going inside the 5, trickling its way down to the 2-yard line.
Now, we've seen big plays from both offenses, but the special teams advantage in this game tonight is going to be Mohawks. You just see it there with Logan in the punt. We know about Wilkins. We know about the return guys. You throw that in and can play some kind of field position with this team. That's a big factor in determining who's going to win this game tonight.
Tim Continenza on the sideline. Let's make sure we got a. Yeah, sadly not great. We'll get that all sorted out here. In the shadow of their own goalposts again. They started their first drive at their own 7. This one at their own 2. They're going to go jet sweep action. Dangerous, but it's got a lot of room for Cubelis on the far side. He cuts up field and gets out to the 9. Gain of about 5 or 6 on 1st down.
like the play call, like the idea that you're in the shadow of your own end zone. A lot of teams will just simply try to line up and run the football up the middle to give your team space. Neshannock says, no, we're going to give it to one of our home run hitters and see if he can bust one or give us some kind of room to work here. Good second down and very manageable for this Lancers offense.
And then room up the middle for Aiken. It doesn't take much. The little man sneaks his way through for a first down, listed at just 5'10", 170 pounds is all. But that's all he needs, just a little bit of space, and he gets out past the 15-yard line.
See, this is what happens when your quarterback starts getting hot, too, is you have to respect his ability to throw the football, and then you come back out of these shotgun sets and run a little draw play or something inside like that. The holes are going to open up. That's all a product of Mazzocco being a better quarterback than what he was at the beginning of the year.
Again, jet sweep, but the fake this time to Cubellis. Good sidestep for Aiken to avoid the first rusher. And then he gets tackled out at the 19 for a 3-yard pickup. Real quick, Tim, what are you seeing down there on the sideline?
We're seeing two defenses really just playing that bend, don't break, being able to come up with big plays when they necessary to get the ball back to their offenses.
We'll get Tim back here in a moment on this second down coming up. 2nd down and 7 with just over a minute to play in the opening quarter. We're going to go 2 receivers each way. Huff, the far receiver, at the bottom of your screen. And again, how about this? Changing the play at the line. High snap. It's going to be bobbled. Mazzocco able to get it back. And he's going to gain yardage on the busted play. Close to the first down with the final push forward. I think he will move the chains.
Yeah, 2 guys from Mohawk converging back there when they saw the high snap. Solid reaction by the Warriors defensively. But, man, Mazzocco just gets that thing, gets his composure, sees those 2 guys coming out of both sides, and gets up the field and makes something out of nothing. Again, he is not a sophomore anymore. You're going to hear me say that probably too many times tonight. This kid has grown into a star quarterback for this offense.
He looks like he might be a little banged up as he kind of got sandwiched at the end of the play, but nonetheless shakes it off, barks out the signal. Everybody's got the wrist coach out there on the field. Cubellis, again, the man in motion. Keeper this time for Mazzocco up the gut. He squirms out of a couple of tackles. He's got room to run. And he's going to be tripped up at the last second. Otherwise, if Fadden doesn't make that shoestring tackle, he might be off to the races.
Take a look at it again. I mean, again, another high snap, a partially high snap. That one actually was pretty good, but this is earlier in the game. That's the big play earlier in the game that we saw there. That was, again, another high snap. They're going to have to get that under control here. Probably something to talk about real quick on the sideline when we change quarters here. But, man, Mazzocco just keeping his composure and moving this offense. And this has been a great back and forth, little rope-a-dope, little stalemate in the first quarter, just what we expected to see here early on.
1 quarter in the books, but no points on the board. Neshannock and Mohawk scoreless here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. Second quarter coming at you as we take a look at the Neshannock Lancer cheer squad. Your 2-time defending state champion competitive spirit squad there. We got a couple of WPIAL champions that we were crowned yesterday. How about the Mohawk girls cross country team winning the team championship, and Jackson Schodel, the individual on the guys side. So a lot of hardware already making its way back to Lawrence County. Sofia Cavelli, the gold medalist in the girls golf championship. We're going to go fake pitch on the first play, the old Ernie Burks play, and out to the 45-yard line goes Mazzocco. A nice gain on first down of about 6 yards.
Yep, getting big chunks on first and second down, third and manageable. You put yourself in those good situations, and again, they have so many guys that can carry this football, but it all starts with number 1 at that quarterback spot.
Sophomore, and he had big shoes to fill. Johnny Huff is on the sideline tonight. I got a chance to talk to him during pregame. He's out at Slippery Rock getting the job done with. How about that? What are they, 6th in the country right now, the Rocks are?
And didn't really have to worry too much about their arch rival either. They've taken a little bit of a step back this season.
Big rivalry game here, and you can feel it with every single boom in the pile as a couple of Mohawk defenders converge. I believe that's both Chapmans in there on the tackle. Short gain, maybe gain of 1 for Ardro.
Yeah, they've been busy early on, the 2 Chapmans for Mohawk's defense. And Freddie Mazzacco said before the game that they wanted to play fast and play a little bit up-tempo. You're seeing that. They're getting the subs in and doing all the right things to put themselves in good positions, especially with those tight ends. But they are playing a more up-tempo type of offense here early on. It's taking a little bit of time here, though, on this play, down to 10 seconds.
They're going to go with fake pitch again, and good hole up the middle. Mazzacco looked like he had room, but he gets tripped up and ends up held up in the rugby scrum. He'll be just a yard short, and again, decision time coming here. What does Coach Mazzacco, Coach DePorzio, they kind of share play calling duties. He really sets a 3-headed monster calling the plays. What do they dial up here? It's about almost a full yard. They got to get just shy of the 50.
Alex Chapman again that time. A.J. Verdi in there on that mix. Alex Chapman he's got to be exhausted after 1 quarter because he has been in on just about everything defensively. I like this, though. I mean, 4th and 1, you're at midfield, trust your defense.
1,500 strong in attendance at least for sure. Biggest play of the game so far. Handoff for the big man up the middle. He lowers his shoulder, and Ardro's got the first down, and Moore takes a gang of tacklers to finally drag down the big man.
All this movement and all the motion on this offense. And what do they do on 4th and 1 is they line up in their customary set, and they run a power play up the middle. This offensive line is doing its job early on for Neshannock. Now, can they capitalize on it? That's the big question. They got a full house backfield this time.
Yeah, it's very much misdirection. Still have a pistol set with 3 backs coming through, getting the handoff. Believe again that's number 2, Anthony Bonner, getting the carry for a gain of 2 or 3 yards.
They sent Eakin out wide that time and faked the pitch to him. Mohawk's defense didn't fall for it. They line up again in that set. Don't be surprised if they go to that side, but this Mohawk defense has done a good job, a disciplined job early on of staying at home and not really trying to fall for any of the motion or not biting on any of the motion or any of the extra movement by this offense.
Long time getting this play in. Gino Mazzacco on the field is asking what play he wants. They're running out of time, down to 10 on the play clock here out of the power pistol set. The 2 tight ends are Montgomery and Ashton Allison. Again, it's going to be a handoff going to Bonner, and he lowers his shoulder into the defensive back. Nice avenue up the middle. Gain of about 6 yards. It's going to be 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, just going straight up the middle with this offensive line. And you see Mazzacco get a little frustrated before that play. He wants to keep that tempo going. Quick play call, line up, get the play snap, try to exhaust this Mohawk defense. We saw Beaver Falls try to do that with more of a power style a couple of weeks ago. This is more up tempo, but they're taking their time here on this drive, but it's still working out fine. And they've stayed in this power pistol set the last couple of plays, and it's caused big problems up front. Look at this offensive line, the extra blocker.
This drive began at their own 2-yard line. 3rd and 2, Ardro, big man, another first down. That's the first 3rd down Castle conversion of the evening. Needed 2, got 5.
They have max protection up front with both tight ends in the game, and they are just pushing their way through this Mohawk defense on these last couple of plays. This is as impressive as they've looked early on in this game.
12th play. This is the 13th play of the drive, and it'll be a handoff to Aiken. Not a lot of room because guess who's there? Verdi, first man there to slow him up, but again, it's big Alex Chapman making the tackle for a loss.
Got a good jump off the ball, recognized the run, gets up the field, makes the tackle, runs to the ball. And we said last week Union, when they played Southside, had to stay at home and not fall for a lot of those trickerations with the wing T. Mohawk in sort of the same position here. They can't really fall for motion or different sets. Just got to stay at home, react to the ball, and get upfield and try to make a play. And Chapman's been active doing that early on.
Back to a 3-wide receiver set. Brady Frasso, the lone receiver, to the right. They're going to go another handoff to Aiken up the middle. He's upended by Verdi immediately, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. How about Verdi, the game we saw in week 0? 25 tackles, by far a school record. Absolutely incredible what he did in that game, what he's done all year.
Yeah, he's had a great game, and you want to talk a great season. You want to talk about a guy doesn't have a lot of sacks, doesn't have a lot of tackles for loss. Oh, by the way, almost 12 tackles a game and 3 fumbles caused. So he gets up the field, he makes the play. He's the guy that you want to watch, and that's going to make it easier for these linemen to help react too if he's the one in there making the play early on.
Cubelis on the jet sweep. They fake to him. Mazzacco, huge hole up the middle. Touchdown to Neshannock. 27 yards. There's that RPO that Coach Mo talked about, and he just saw the nephew go dancing.
Excellent job of blocking up front. The motion does enough to draw enough attention. We said it. Mohawk's been good about not really paying attention to it. And this offensive line on that drive, Gino Mazzacco is going to get credit for the touchdown. That drive was all the offensive line for this Lancers team up front, pushing people out of the way. Excellent, excellent job blocking on that drive.
Bonner to hold. DeVivo's kick is up, and it is good. 7-0. Neshannock leads Mohawk. 6:35 remaining in the first half. Back in a moment on lcsportsnet.com, powered by LCAP. For 20 years, Melee Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Melee Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $30 visit to the Melee Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapy is necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game. 7-0 Neshannock. We're back on the sideline. Tim Continenza.
On that touchdown run, it was Joey Veronasi who really came through for the Lancers, springing the quarterback loose for that touchdown run. He came through perfectly with a big hit that opened up that middle for Gino to be able to score. Back to us.
And that's the point I'm trying to make, James. Look at this offensive line up front. You got 3 seniors and a junior. Veronasi is the sophomore, and he makes arguably the biggest play of the game early on.
How about this for a big play right away, though? Dante retort a huge return on the kickoff across midfield before he's finally slammed out of bounds at the 40 or at the 37-yard line. But real quick, how about a Joseph's Marketplace drive summary for the ages? 15 plays, 98 yards, 8 minutes and 1 second off of the clock on that long touchdown drive. But this is what Mohawk can do. They can strike back quickly. Special teams has been by far in favor of Mohawk tonight.
It's going to be that way all night long. They have the benefit of having these 2 big returners. Wilkins, Logan can do the job as the punter too. You're never out of a situation. You need some yardage. We're going to give your offense a short field. Like this offense really needs a short field, but you can put those guys like Fadden and Retort back there. They'll give it to you every single time. They're a big-time weapon. These special teams for Mohawk playing a big factor early.
So starting at the 37-yard line, Rona in the gun. Boston to his left. They are going to hand it off to him. Makes one man miss, but not much room there in the middle of that defensive front. Big number 55 in there defensively. Stuffing up the hole. It's big Michael DeSanti, 6'2", 250-pound sophomore.
Scooter McPherson got turned around trying to block there, and that allowed some penetration to get in there to wrestle Boston down for the 1-yard gain. You're not going to see any panic out of this Mohawk team, though, and that's the benefit of having a guy like Jay Rona at quarterback. He is in complete control of this offense. They're down 7-0. Okay, we'll just get a big special teams play, short field, and try to get it right back.
Boston again on the carry, trying to wait, lets the block set up, and he's going to explode up the middle inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line. Good patience there from the running back.
Yeah, you said exactly what I was thinking there, impatience. Go blocked by A.J. Verda on the outside, too. Making sure that edge was blocked off in case he needed to cut back and go to the outside. But the interior of that offensive line doing its job on this possession early for Mohawk. See if Rona tries to put it up in the air. This is about the part of the field where he was dropping dimes in warm-ups. So, again, he'll look at this defense, and if they're given any kind of cushion, he'll go to a run. If they bring the defenders up close to that line of scrimmage, man-to-man, he's going to trust his receivers to blow by him every time.
Fadden and Retort are the 2 receivers to the top of the screen. It's going to be a third straight handoff for Boston, and he's going to be just shy of the line to gain. It'll depend on the spot, but from up here, it looks like he's about a half a yard short.
Well, you've gone for it twice already. Why not go for it again? Teams factor better on 4th down against Neshannock than they do on 3rd down.
What was the stat you told me? Like 3 of 31 in the last 3 games or something like that?
Yeah, only 3 conversions on 3rd down in the last 3 games going into tonight. It is remarkable. And you're talking about offenses like Elwood City who can move the ball all over the place, and I mean, that's no easy feat to accomplish defensively.
4th down and 1. They've already converted once on 4th down tonight. They're going to go with the fake this time. Arona cuts inside. He's going to have enough. He might have had more space to the outside, but he knew he just needed a yard and wanted to make sure he got to the sticks.
You don't expect him to run the football. He doesn't run the football all season long. He's a gunslinger. And what's he done twice tonight? Tuck and run. Good decision by Jay Rona. That's designed. Maybe it's not. Maybe he decided at the line of scrimmage at the last second, I'm going to keep the football. Whatever the case, you don't expect him to run, and he's been effective with the legs in this first half.
Only 24 carries now on the year, and I'm going to just guesstimate that probably half of those are on sacks. So not even a designed run or not even a scramble run. 3 receivers set. Verdi is the tight end in motion from the top of the screen, having to step up in the pocket, and this time, again, scrambling for his life, gets dragged down by a secondary man in Bonner, but a gain of 1 yard when it looked like it was a meeting at the quarterback for a minute.
Yeah, not falling for that pump fake either. Rona tried to throw off the defender, Bonner, by throwing a little pump fake at him, hoping that he would bite and Rona could have more space to take off. This pressure by Neshannock, though, we said it again at the onset, that pressure was going to be a big deal for them tonight. They were in the backfield a ton last week against Elwood City. They are not afraid to gamble. They think they can get to Rona before he can uncork that football.
Fadden slot left along with Retort. Logan, the lone receiver, to the right. Second down and 9.
Watch the edge.
They're bringing the pressure, and they're going to throw over the middle. Joey Nail leaking out from the tight end spot. He makes the catch at the 5-yard line.
That's Rona off his back foot, and the pressure set up right away. They were not disguising that at all. You'll see it right here. They leak up to the offense, to the line of scrimmage. That pressure is coming right away with Bonner, and off his back foot, Rona just trusting his arm and throwing his receiver open. Great diving effort by Nail.
19-yard completion to Joey Nail, and that puts Mohawk into the red zone. Make sure you stop by the red zone just a few minutes up the road here in Neshannock Township for all of your county sporting apparel needs. Now it's Mohawk who's going to go full house backfield. Under center, they're going to bring Fadden in motion, and it looks like Mohawk just took their 3rd and final timeout. Let's take a quick 30-second timeout here as well at lcsportsnet.com, powered by LCAP. When injuries get you sidelined, don't trust just anyone to get you back on the field. Visit Health in Motion Physical Therapy in Shenango Township. They want to get you back to the top of your game as quickly as possible with certified orthopedic and manual therapies. At Health in Motion, you receive quality one-on-one time with a board-certified physical therapist. Get the next generation of physical therapy to help in your recovery. Health in Motion is the first PT clinic in Western Pennsylvania to use the Newbie, the neurobioelectric stimulator, in their therapies. Their technologies can reduce your time on the sideline from 3 or 4 weeks to just 3 or 4 days. Don't wait for months to see improvement. Notice a difference after your first visit to Health in Motion, keeping you moving. 2:29 remaining in the first half. A quick moving first half, as this is just the 3rd drive for Mohawk in the half. But Neshannock with drives of 4:06 and 8:01 already.
Yeah, if you're going to eat up that time, you think you are taking all that time away from Mohawk. They don't need much, especially when their special teams is going to set them up deep in your territory or just outside, deep right off the kick.
Well, that was the last time out for Mohawk. Still plenty of time, though. They're going to go shotgun, handoff up the middle. Boston breaks away from one man, still fighting forward, gets plowed forward towards the goal line, finally down at the 1-yard line. Good quick handoff because there was a blitzer coming right up the A-gap.
Montgomery again. Also the big guy, Ponziani in the middle that time, clogging the hole. This is no nonsense. Cash Stratton's going to be in the game for Mohawk, so watch if they don't try to run something with him.
Cash Stratton, he's your freshman, your newbie of the game in there. He's got 2 rushing touchdowns on the year. Give a shout out to Health in Motion Physical Therapy and their next generation of physical therapy with newbie stimulator technology. Stratton in the backfield with Boston and Fadden. And they're going to go with a quick handoff to Fadden to the outside, and he's going to walk in untouched. What deception on that play. We'll have to take a look at that one again on your LCAP instant replay because that was a thing of beauty. Only the 2nd carry of the year for Fadden, and it goes for 6.
It's almost a Statue of Liberty style play because Rona's going the opposite way of Fadden. Nobody expected him to get the handoff in that direction. Excellent disguise of the run that time, and a great play call by Tim McCutcheon and this staff to get that touchdown right back. That was so well designed.
Now Josh Wilkins on for the extra point to try to tie it up, and he boots it about halfway back to Bessemer for the extra point. We're tied at 7 with 1:40 remaining in the first half at lcsportsnet.com, powered by LCAP.
I love what I do because coming in every day is different.
How can you not enjoy these kids coming up and hugging you and giving you these great smiles all throughout the day?
You guys ready? Seeing the progress that our kids make every single day is one of the reasons I love coming to school.
What should we do? We have fun.
LCAP Early Learning Centers is hiring. Help empower young minds in Lawrence County and become a superhero today. Apply at lcap.org.
We got a Christmas tree out there. I was just heard that there was a Mike Wazowski sighting over at Shenango at Frank Bongiovango Field out there. We do have Frank Bongiovango sighting here. He's one of the assistant coaches at Neshannock. So you got Bonge all over the place here at lcsportsnet.com. But that's a huge response right there, Eric, to go right down the field. A short field nonetheless, but able to convert on 4th down and then punch it into the end zone, and a kickoff, shocker, into the end zone as well.
Aided by the special teams and the big return by retort, but the call on the touchdown play with Fadden in the backfield and Rona almost looking like he's going to play fake to him and roll out and maybe keep it on a boot. Fadden's going the opposite direction. They hand it off to him. There's the Christmas tree. Let's get to Halloween first.
Yep. Yes, thank you. Thank you for saying it.
I love the costume, but let's get to Tuesday night first.
7-play, 37-yard drive. How about this? It still took nearly 5 minutes off of the clock. What a fast-moving first half this has been. Now, Neshannock, with 1:40 left, all 3 timeouts. They did this last week, Aaron. They were able to get a long drive late in the first half against Elwood City. They're going to play conservative here on 1st down, though. A handoff for Argero, maybe a yard up the middle. Actually, that was Aiken on the carry for 1.
Mohawk's gone to Cash Stratton at the other corner spot. So keep an eye on the matchup. Whoever he's on, he's got Bobby Frasso with him right now. So if Mazzocco recognizes that, maybe he challenges him. There's a little bit of cushion on these corners here from Mohawk.
Zone read, a keeper from Mazzocco, well read by Verdi. He nearly stripped it out there at the end. Gain of 2 yards. And with Mohawk not having any timeouts, playing it safe here, Eric.
Yeah, that's the right call, too, because you don't take any chances. Mohawk, you don't want to give them the ball back. Number 1, but number 2, recognizing that they can't stop the clock to get the ball back. You can just let this thing dwindle down. I like the idea. Go to the locker room, regroup. Tied at 7, been a great first half so far.
20 seconds on the play clock still, so they don't have to snap this until about the 23-second mark. So if they wanted to, they could technically probably take a shot here down the field. You would stop the clock, but with only maybe about 12 seconds remaining. At the same time, you know it doesn't take much time for Mohawk to put points on the board. In fact, Neshannock will wind it all the way down and take their first Pontius Insurance timeout, which gives us a chance to remind you that coming up at the half, we'll have our LGKG halftime show, thanks to our friends at Luxembourg Garbett, Kelly and George, keeping promises for over 80 years. We'll have both the Warrior and the Lancer marching band coming up for our halftime performance. It's Tid Continenza down on the sideline again. Now, maybe not. Apologize there for Tim. Mike is not working. 23 seconds remaining in the first half. We'll get back to Tim here in a moment as the YMCA playing. How about the light show that you got to see here during pregame, and the colors as well? I don't know if you saw the softball field. It's all decked out in the orange and purple Halloween colors.
Excellent job here, making it a bit of a scene. It still matters out in this part of the state, which is a good thing to see. And excellent setting for this conference championship game, and still a ton at stake here over the next 24 minutes.
Tied at 7, winner likely a first-round bye and the MAC championship. Handoff up the middle for Aiken, and he's going to get tackled, held up there by big 77 Don Monaco. He'll be short of the line to gain, and that's how your first half will come to an end.
That's about as good of a first 24 minutes as you could ask for. I mean, it's a title game. Both teams want it. Saw big plays early on. Defense, bend but don't break. Big special teams play by Mohawk. No surprise there. And it's going to come down to a battle of who wants it more in the next 24 minutes. We're set up for a good one here the rest of the way.
The LGKG halftime show coming your way after this break. 7-7 your halftime score in the MAC championship game at lcsportsnet.com. Looking for a unique way to expand your business? Advertise on the Lawrence County SportsNet and be seen by thousands of viewers in the area and around the country. on over 100 broadcasts each year. Visit lcsportsnet.com and click Advertise with LCSN.
For more than 120 years, people have been relying upon Martindale Hubbell's AV preeminent rating to select their attorneys. If you're involved in a workers' compensation situation, you should do the same. LGKG has been AV rated for over 40 years.
After 2 shoulder surgeries, my doctor wanted me to go to his physical therapy, which was out of town, and I chose Washington Center Physical Therapy.
The availability is absolutely amazing. When we call to get an athlete in, we get them in the exact same day.
I see many patients preoperatively for orthopedic surgeries. Those patients who use Washington Center have the best outcomes.
The bottom line is Washington Center Physical Therapy is your best choice for physical therapy.
Call us at Washington Center Physical Therapy, serving the community for over 20 years.
Castle Asphalt and Construction is driven to provide quality, cost-efficient pavement-related services to Western Pennsylvania. Every paving or construction service at Castle Asphalt begins with a thorough site inspection of the area to allow their team of professionals to become familiar with the unique conditions of your home or business. Once the site inspection is complete, Castle Asphalt provides you with a detailed plan of the design, cost, materials, and time of completion, so you know exactly what to expect during your construction. Visit castleasphalt.com to request a quote for your next project and make your dream design come to fruition.
You are now tuned into the Luxembourg, Garbutt, Kelly, and George halftime show on the Lawrence County SportsNet, featuring performances by your marching bands and recapping the action from the first half of the game.
It's the LGKG halftime show here in the Lawrence County SportsNet, tied at 7, as we'll turn it over to Director Jason Zay, Assistant Director Justin Adicott, Drum Majors Emma Gallagher and Nolan Motter as they're all in the Mohawk area marching band. your Mohawk area marching band under the direction of Mr. Jason Zay. And want to give a quick shout out real quick while we have a moment before Neshannock comes out onto the field. Eric, you made a comment that I overlooked. I should have said it. Alex Chapman doesn't take a break ever. I wanted to say you would get one at halftime, but he doesn't. He and his brother both out there on the marching band for the Mohawk Warriors. I think that tells you enough about the kind of student athlete that those two are, as well as Trey Gangoni, a sophomore, also there with the marching band. How about this? Mohawk actually chose not to go to the locker room here. They are in the end zone.
That's interesting.
We'll get a look at that real quick. Mr. Brad Schaefer, our producer, we're going to see if we can get a look at that real quick. Yeah, over there in the end zone, behind where the Mohawk marching band is, that is where the Warriors are huddling for their halftime talk. So they're going to get some up-close and personal look at now the Neshannock Lancer marching band as they make their way out onto the field as well as we continue our LGKG halftime show.
You've been watching the Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly and George Halftime Show, presented by the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly and George, serving the Newcastle area for 90 years. Be sure to stay tuned to the Lawrence County SportsNet for third quarter action coming up after this message from our sponsors.
When the high school season heats up, make sure you have the best gear to support your school. Head to the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in Neshannock for all your county sporting apparel needs. From sporting goods to custom apparel to embroidery and more, the Red Zone has it all. Quality gear for all 8 schools in the County of Champions. Stop by and enter the Red Zone or visit them online at theredzonesports.com. Score big at the Red Zone.
It surely is thriller night here at Neshannock High School. Again, so fun halftime show between the marching bands, and now we get the light show here with some Michael Jackson playing in the background. We expected a thriller here tonight, and we have not been disappointed. Each team with only 3 possessions in the first half. Each team's converting touchdowns on 1 of their 3 possessions as we wrap up our LGKG halftime show. I'm James Dotson with Eric Thomas alongside, and Eric, it feels more like a dance club right now out here with well, especially with how jam-packed it is. But this is an electric atmosphere on the field and off.
No, it certainly is. You made an interesting point there between bands about Mohawk not going to the locker room. And, I mean, the locker rooms are pretty far away from here. That's an interesting strategy. Mm-hmm. You're away from home, possibly could have to come here for a playoff game at some point. Maybe if they host, you never know. They want those games on turf. But interesting that they just gathered in the end zone. This is a very business-like approach to this game between these two teams. And, you know, after we got that initial feeling out process, both hit big plays early on. Everybody kind of settled in. We got a couple of 4th down stands, conversions, 3rd downs, big runs, big passes, big special teams play. Game's about as even as it can be right now in terms of score and in terms of play on the field. But just interesting that Mohawk decided, nope, we're not going to walk all the way over to that locker room. We're going to stay right here. We're going to meet in the end zone, deal with the band, deal with the noise. And I kind of like that approach. I mean, by the time you get over to the locker room here, you got about 2 minutes. You got to turn right around, get everybody out, get everybody back down on the field to start warming up again. So
it's not quite as far of a walk to the locker rooms as it is, say, at Riverside, where they literally add 10 minutes of halftime to be able to get the teams to the locker room. But it is quite a hike here to get from here at the field up to the high school. So, yeah, an interesting strategy. I remember about probably 7 or 8 years ago, Neshannock did something similar. How about this? They warmed up here at home in pads, drove the bus over to Union, came straight for the coin toss, basically, played ball, game ended, got right on the bus, went home. Never even stepped foot in Union's locker room for a game. I mean, so when you're that close, you can do, I guess, some sort of things like that.
A couple things to keep an eye on in the second half. Mohawk tried that trick play for the touchdown. You hope long-term, if you're Mohawk, that doesn't come back to bite you. Because this is a 7-7 game, you had to come back and tie this game up at 7 late in the first half. So you just hope that play was not a wasted trip, especially off the bat. I kind of wonder right now what this game would be if they would have converted that possession right off the start. Get the big play down the field, one-on-one coverage, the retort pass, and then get yourself all the way down to the end zone and then get turned away. The psyche of Mohawk changes a little bit, but if they convert that there, what's the psyche of Neshannock? How do they react to that kind of stuff being pushed up against it early on? So you hope if you're Mohawk it doesn't come back to bite you. It shouldn't. Things got even, they settled down, and we get to start basically with a fresh canvas here in the second half.
Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Tim Continenza. It is electric down there in the field, Tim, as it was up here in the booth.
It is. It was a heck of a show put on here. I tell you what, if the second half lights up like we just seen in a halftime, we're going to be in for a great second half of a football game here. Looking forward to it. It's going to be interesting to see if Jay Rona and the gang can continue their aerial attack.
How interesting was it, real quick, Tim, that Mohawk standing just a few feet away from you for their entire halftime?
They were just, it was up and down. I tell you what, the student section was just jumping and ready, and here we are ready for the second half kickoff. So let me send it back to you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Tim. It's going to be a fun one for sure here in the second half. Neshannock deferred to start the game, so they will receive the second half kickoff. Gina Mazzocco and company, 174 yards of offense for Neshannock, 121 yards of offense for the Warriors in the first half, and it's going to be another booming kick. You can hear the Mohawk student section from here with the boom as it's taken in the end zone for another touchback. Here's the stat of the night for you, and I didn't do the official averages, so this is going to be off the top of my head real quick. Mohawk's starting field position is about their own 40-yard line. Neshannock in the first half, their starting field position, their own 9.
And it's a 7-7 ball game.
Yeah.
So that washed itself out. That had no effect whatsoever on Neshannock because they got to the locker room tied.
And they hit the ball first, too.
They hit that big play out of the shadow of their own end zone when they got the ball off the interception in the first quarter. So you can kind of throw that stat out, but that is interesting. And, you know, they'll work the field if they have to. They're going to have to here in this drive to start the second half.
And it's going to be a fake to the outside and going up the middle and getting absolutely smashed. And, man, he's taking a beating tonight, has Mazzocco there on those runs.
If you watch this game in the first half and you see the play calls between these two sides, they're about even in terms of run-pass distribution. Neshannock's done a more effective job of running the football, but yet again, it's still only a 7-7 ball game.
4-yard gain. Now Mazzocco, 9 carries, 63 yards. Give a shout out to our friends at Doran Concrete. We'll get the full starting lineups here again after this 2nd down and 6 play. Cubelis in motion, only 1 touch for him in the first half. Another high snap, able to get it and hand it off quickly to Anthony Aiken. He has now 9 carries for 34 yards on the evening. Cubelis 1 carry. Pat Ardro 5 carries, 23 yards. Mazzocco with the touchdown carry leading the way for the Lancers. Jackson Mazzocco, Tony Parada, Jerry Veronese, Michael Ponziani, and Aiden Schaefer on that O-line.
And the one mistake in this first half, the Fadden interception on that touchdown attempt, again, also washed out because Neshannock did not go down the field and score on that possession. So these teams played about even. Look for a mistake. Look for maybe a force, a strip sack, something, a strip fumble, whatever the case. But one of these teams is going to try to make a play defensively to get that ball away from the other.
Aiken up the middle, keeps the legs driving. He's going to get enough to move the chains. Needed to get out past the 30. He was hit short, Eric, but he was not going to be denied.
This offensive line's done enough. They've given enough space at the initial line of scrimmage, and these running backs and Mazzocco have done a good enough job to get the yards after contact. It's really all up front, that offensive line for Neshannock. They right now, I honestly think, even though we're in a tie game, I think the MVP of this game so far has been the entire offensive line for the Lancers.
We'll have our MVP Insurance MVP of the game coming up at the end of this one. Visit MVPINS.com for your free quote. 3 receivers to the left on 1st and 10. Rolling out this way was Mazzocco. Only threw 3 passes in the first half. This one a sliding effort and able to make the catch is Cubelis for a short gain. But how important is it to get your top receiver in Dom Cubelis some catches here on the outside?
I think it is. And again, they used Huff. He went back inside. The coverage was there. And a good route run by Cubelis to get to the outside, and a good throw by Mazzocco to put it right on his hands instead of anywhere where a defender can make a play. Get him a touch. They ran 1 jet sweep with him. And we've seen Mazzocco kind of go away from throwing the football outside of 1 pass, really.
And there is Cubelis getting his 2nd straight carry, or 2nd straight touch, I should say. Play strung out by the other number 11, Joey Nail, and then somebody else nailing him on the hit later in the play. I believe that was big number 2, Leighton Wagner.
Speed on the outside, speed on speed that time with Cubelis trying to get to the edge. Logan trying to hold his ground on that far side. And then Wagner moving over to make the play, but a good job by Logan to make sure that really, Cubillas couldn't get any further down the field. These Mohawk defense in the first half, James, I think one of the things they did better than Neshannock was hold that edge and not allow that to be a factor, not allow these guys from Neshannock to get to the edge and turn it upfield.
Third down and a long 5. Play action again rolling out is Mazzocco towards the near sideline. Running out of time, now finally throws it on the run. It's going to go through the hands of the intended target and out of bounds. He was looking on the play for Braden Montgomery, but just tight coverage on the near sideline, nowhere to go.
Joey Nail once again comes flying in and again holds that edge. So it's either going to be a loss for Mazzocco or he's going to force a bad throw. And that wasn't necessarily a bad throw. He throws it in the area where there's 2 defenders, but he had to get rid of the football, otherwise he was going to eat the loss. But again, it's those guys on the edge from Mohawk defensively that are not allowing these Lancer players to get to the outside. 4th
down and 6 officially as Neshannock ready to boot it away. I believe that's Pat Ardro to do the punting duties again. Left-footed punt, end over end will bounce. Nice high hop taken by Fadden on a bounce at the 24-yard line. Makes a couple men miss. He's got some room if he can get to the outside, and he does. But the quick closing speed by the punter, Pat Ardro, to usher him out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. So a lot of running for about a 5-yard, 6-yard return.
Little extra shove there by Ardro at the end. A little jawing back and forth between him and Fadden, too, after the punt return. But, you know, excellent job to get down the field on special teams. Usually you see that gunner get down the field. This time it's the punter racing down the field. That's what happens when your punter's one of your star running backs. Send him down the field, kick the ball away. That was an excellent punt, too. Good job to field it on the one hop by Fadden. And then excellent special teams again by Neshannock to just kind of close everything off. Nowhere to go.
Fadden threw a 44-yard pass on his first play of the game. He is 5 for 6 for 71 yards in that first half. Justin Boston, 8 carries for 26 yards. He's sidecar left and gets the handoff, tries to bounce it outside, now cuts in, going to get across the 30, out to about the 32-yard line. Not any huge runs. In fact, the largest run of the game was a 7-yarder for Boston, but he's just kind of doing a yeoman's duty. Not quite as much as last week, but we're just getting it done bit by bit on the ground.
Mohawk offense staying patient, too. They're not having lack of success in the run game and then turning everything over to Rona and forcing throws. They're staying patient with this running game. I mean, Fadden, you know, hasn't been a factor catching the ball. Retort's got the one catch. They're just not forcing things right now, passing the football. They want Boston to get going, tried to string out the defense and cut back that time. Neshannock stayed home.
Verdi, the tight end to the left. He's going out in the pattern, as is Boston out of the backfield. Pump fake, now having to run with it is Rona. He's going to get tackled from behind, but able to pick up a couple of yards before he was dragged down by Veronese, I believe that was. Or check out, that was not 50, it was 58. Jackson Mazzocco, and now a player behind the play down on the field for Neshannock.
Yeah, looks like big Aiden Schaefer, the one defensive end, the 230-pound senior, is going to hobble off. Good blanket coverage in the secondary that time by Neshannock. Retort was the one going down the field. Rona maybe looked his way initially, but recognized the safeties were right there. Could have made a nice break on the ball if it was thrown towards Retort. And Jay didn't have enough behind him that time to step into a throw and heave it down the field. He just had to really tuck and run, and they've done that a couple times here tonight.
3rd down and 4 is what they'll call it from the 35-yard line. 5 seconds on the play clock. Mohawk's got to hurry as they were kind of in a pseudo timeout there. Will they get the snap off? Yes, they do in time. Boston up the middle, and he's going nowhere. Loss of a yard. Huff cleaned it up, but the main man in there first. I believe that was Dante Canciella, who just checked in for the injured Aiden Schaefer, as you check it out on your LCAP instant replay.
Yeah, a lot of times you think you go right at the guy that comes in for the injured player. Not if it's one of these big offensive linemen for the Lancers. Good stand by this Neshannock defense on that drive. Again, Mohawk, though, just staying patient. They want to run the football. They want to try to wear down this front, and they're not forcing throws. We haven't seen that mistake or a forced throw by Jay Rona.
High snap. Logan has to hurry up. Does get off a sideways spinning kick. Does take a sideways hop and will be down at about the 36-yard line. Neshannock will take over after forcing the 3 and out. While we have a moment, I want to remind you about the Penn Ohio Bottled Water podcast that we get every week, the LC SportsNet podcast delivered by Penn Ohio Bottled Water. Make sure you give them a call for delivery. 5-gallon water cooler systems, or you can get cases of bottles delivered straight to your work. Eric Harris is kind enough to join me on this podcast this week because, well, there was plenty to talk about. This game, the Laurel game, which is a 9-0 lead over Shenango at half, and Elwood City looks like they have clinched their playoff berth. They lead 35-0 over Riverside at half.
Yeah, hung in there with Neshannock last week, and then you figured they would bounce back big tonight. Good to see that they get in the playoffs, get their 5th win, most wins, I think, since 2011 for them. assuming they hang on there, and I think they will. Good season.
Play action, Mazzocco going deep, has a man open, but it's just out of his reach. Had a couple different men, looked like not on the same page, as it was Cubelis going on a cross, and Frasso, I believe, who was going deep.
Yeah, not sure who he was trying to throw that one to, and he maybe thought he saw an underneath route, didn't have to throw it as far, and that might have been a better, deeper ball because Faso had the break on the inside, running back towards the middle of the field, and if Mazzocco puts that on the numbers, that's a big gain.
2nd down and 10. Again, looking to throw. Crossing routes over the middle. Had a man open on the far side. Instead, coming near side, looking for Montgomery. He makes the catch, but a flag thrown as soon as he does make the catch. So we'll have to see what this one was. There's a lot of contact in the middle of the field on that crossing route, Eric.
Are you kidding me on that throw? And really just over the top, the helmet. And Montgomery making a great catch, but this looks like it's going to go against the Lancers. They're backing up.
It would be his 8th catch of the year. Might be a man downfield, or it could be something with the, yeah, it is an eligible man downfield. And that's the first penalty on Neshannock in the game.
Have not been a factor. Well-played game by both sides.
Yeah, the hard count offsides is Mohawk's only penalty in the game, is it not?
Yep, that led to a 1st down, but again, no blood on that drive. So, again, you kind of throw those penalties out. We'll see if this one impacts the Lancers at all. 2nd and 15. See if they get Mazzocco another throw here, because it looks like they want to get him in a rhythm throwing the football here on this drive. And that would have been a nice completion if he had that one, but he needs an arm right now on this 2nd and long.
Trips left. They're going to go zone read, and a keeper from Mazzocco. He's got room across the 35 before he's dragged down by Justin Boston. Called his name about 4 or 5 times easily on defense tonight. Out to the 40, well, mark it at the 39-yard line. So it'll be a 3rd and manageable, 3rd and about 7.
You said Boston playing more of that hybrid role tonight with Sam List out of the game. So he's going to be able to step up, make plays if he's at that linebacker spot. You do lose him as a corner because he's a very effective one, but you bring him in that linebacker spot. He's the perfect kind of guy to trail Mazzocco if you need him on a defensive play.
Calling out the signal now is Gino Mazzocco, the sophomore. Not the son of Coach Fred Mazzocco, a second cousin, I believe, is the official, what we've gotten word on, but he's dropping back the pass deep over the middle, looking for Frasso. He's got the catch at the 25-yard line. Had Cash Stratton in his hip pocket, didn't matter.
Now that's an excellent deep ball throw, and that's what it looked like he wanted to go to on that one play down the field. One-on-one coverage with the freshman, and watch him get this ball on the outside hand. That is a great job by the sophomore Mazzocco to throw that to the outside hand, and his receiver stepped up and made a big-time play.
Huge gain down to the 23-yard line, so that is a 38-yard pickup for Frasso. Handoff up the middle, and Al Chapman says enough of that as he stops Aiken for no gain. By the way, for Frasso, going to confirm, believe that's only his 6th catch of the year? 7th. He had 6 coming in.
Seldom used, sent him deep on that one route before, and they go back to it this time, but no confusion as to who else was down the field with him. I got a feeling if Mazzocco sees that one-on-one matchup, and it is to the top of your screen when we get back to the wide shot, he might go to it again at some point.
Instead, he comes back to the near side on a carry. He's tripped up near the 20-yard line by Boston, but the Lancers do enter the red zone after that 3-yard, 4-yard gain.
Well, it's interesting, too, because points, and we're getting to a stage in this game now where the clock is going to start to matter. I mean, we're already inside of 5 minutes here in this 3rd quarter, and Carter DeVivo he only has 1 field goal attempt this season. So when you get down inside this red zone, what do you do here if you end up not converting this 3rd down? Does the field goal come back into play just to get points on the board?
DeVivo has not attempted one this year, though he made a couple each of the last 2 seasons. Down to 8 on the play clock. Neshannock checking the sideline, trying to get one more audible in. And I think they're going to have to call a timeout. They do get the timeout in time with 3:46 remaining. Your first Sponsors Insurance timeout of the 2nd half. Give us a chance to remind you, you'll have your Newcastle Transit Authority going your way out-of-town scoreboard going across the bottom line. The other score in the county tonight, Newcastle leading Blackhawks 7-3. Again, hats off and huzzah as they get rid of that losing streak down there in Newcastle. Speaking of down there, let's go down to the field for Tim Continenza.
They have been running left and right to the edges the entire time, opening up the middle, and then Ferrazzo made the nice move inside to catch that ball as he was going to the ground to set up this drive.
Thanks, Tim. We appreciate that. It'll be 3rd down and 6 coming up. He's got a great shot right there near the goal line of where Neshannock trying to get to. 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, we'll call it, from the 20-yard line. They'll bring Cubellis in motion, fake to him, fake the handoff, keeper Mazzocco, and that one's not fooled. Verdi, Boston, Fadden, all there, loss on the play.
Yeah, it's Verdi who gets in there first, and he just dove right at the ankle, saw that Mazzocco was going to keep. I'm surprised they haven't gone back to the air inside the red zone here, but now here's the question. It becomes, they're going to go for it here.
Yeah, 38 yards, probably just out of DeVivo's range.
I was going to say, I think even on a clear night, and there's a little bit of a breeze down there, I think you probably don't risk it at this point. You've got Mohawk backed up. If you don't convert, your defense has played pretty well all night long.
Another huge play upcoming, 4th down and 8 from the 21. They got to get to the 13 to convert. Rolling out to the right. They're going to try to stop, throw back to the right, and it's going to be through the hands of the diving Braden Montgomery. Very creative play call and a beautiful throw just out of the outstretched hands of the tight end.
Might have taken a little bit too long for the route to develop. We'll see it here. Montgomery's going to be the guy that comes off that tight end spot. You'll watch him just go across the middle of the field, and there it is. That's an excellent throw by Mazzocco, just out of the reach, trying to split those 2 defenders. But, hey, again, you trust your defense in this situation because they've corralled Mohawk to this point. We know it only takes one play for them to get going offensively, but your defense has played so well here tonight, and Jay Rona has not taken many chances in this game either. So you have to trust your defense to get that ball back. But it is getting to that point now where one possession might end up deciding this whole thing. We're getting very tight on time here.
Mohawk starts at their own 21-yard line, and they're going to try to go right down the field over the top, and I'm not sure that Blake Logan caught his head turned around and found it quickly enough because he was a step behind the defender.
I don't think he even saw. I think he lost it up in the lights. He slightly turned back to look for that ball, and just I don't think he knew where it was. They had that, too, because he had the inside position, and Rona had it right there. All Logan really had to do was put his hands out, and it probably would have dropped right in, and then he could take off and run.
Yeah, new light system here at Neshannock. Absolutely well lit, but, yeah, if you don't find it immediately, like anywhere. Now it's just 2nd and 10. They're going to go with a draw play up the middle, and that fooled no one. Tony Parada says, not in my house.
As good as Alex Chapman has played tonight, Parada just got so much bull rush on him, he never had a chance to block. That was a little bit of a delay handoff by design, and Parada just pushed his man back and got right in the face of Boston.
Now it's 3rd down and 14. Mohawk 0 for 4 on 3rd down, so they have converted a couple of 4th downs here on the evening.
I don't think you go for it 4th down deep in their territory if they don't get this, though.
Yeah. Trips to the short side of the field on 3rd and long, dropping back is Rona, steps up in the pocket, looking down the field, checks behind him, now throws it over the middle. It's going to be intercepted. Only the 5th pick of the year, and Braden Montgomery gets a huge Maduro Law change in possession.
They bring 3 guys on that line. Watch them back off, and it's only a 3-man rush. And Rona still has to step up. There's a little bit of backside pressure there. He throws back across his body. Fadden really never gets into the route enough to make a play on the ball, or at least try to play defense there. And Rona throwing it back across his body. There's the mistake that Neshannock was hoping they would make. He hadn't taken many chances throwing the ball in risky spots. But even with a 3-man rush, and they force him to step up and make that throw, again, this Neshannock defense has come to play here tonight.
Now the Mohawk defense, they've been bend, don't break. Neshannock's gotten down here a couple of times without being able to punch it in, but this is by far their best field position. Prior to this drive, their best field position came on the previous punt at their own 36. End around to Cubellis, and he's got room in front of him. Race to the corner, to the 25, dragged out of bounds by Logan right near the 1st down marker.
Good play design that time. Mazzocco had trouble getting the play in, I think, initially, and then they snapped the ball. You want to get it in the hands of your playmaker. Logan had to do all he could there to try to stay stride for stride to get him towards the sideline.
Talk about a playmaker. He's your reigning Maley Chiropractic Play of the Year award winner for his walk-off hit in the WPIAL baseball playoffs in the 10th inning. By the way, the man who he knocked in, the pinch runner, well, he's the running back right now, sidecar right, Anthony Aiken. here on 2nd and 1. Fake to one, handoff to the other. Aiken's got the first down, but that's about it. Only needed one. That'll be enough to move the chains. That's the 11th first down of the night for the Lancers. Now, hold the phone. I spoke too soon. They're going to mark him short.
Yeah, Retort stepped up from that safety spot, made a good play to bring him down. He was in that backfield almost when the ball was snapped, or up the field to make the play almost when the ball was snapped.
But here's the thing. They've been crashing down like that all night. You finally got to pass over the top to Frasso. Even if you don't complete those, that threat definitely, I think, opens things up more in the running game. Ashton Allison's going to serve on the left side as a tight end, almost like a lead blocker. He's going to get a quick shovel pass forward. Again, didn't need much. It's going to defend on the spot.
I think he's short.
Yeah, the referee coming in immediately saying he does not have it.
Verdi made an excellent play that time. This Mohawk defense has come to play on this drive. Now, you feel safe going for it here on 4th down because it's 4th and 1. There's no question about this. 4th and 6, you went for it. You're going for it on 4th and 1. It's probably about 4th and maybe half the football.
You got to get it to the 21. It's at about the 21 and a foot, an inch.
This looks like a little city of brotherly shove here.
Mazzocco under center, and they're actually going to go with a handoff up the middle with the extra push and the extra shove, and actually they're going to get all the way down inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line on the carry is big Pat Argero.
Yeah, Mazzocco comes from the backside and gives that little shove, little extra effort that time to make sure his guy got across the line. Again, this offensive line for Neshannock, James, is doing its job tonight. They have come to play, and they are piling up tough yardage here tonight. It's not going to be gaudy stats, but it's tough yardage.
151 yards of rushing before that play. Another short gain of about 2 yards for Pat Argero, but it's the balance here too. Mazzocco, 12 for 74. Aiken, 12 for 34. Argero, 7 for 29. Cubelis, 3 carries for 16. Bonner, a couple of carries for 8 yards. But no one's getting another carry before the end of the third quarter. We've played 3 at Bob Ledge Stadium, and the defenses have been lights out. 7-7 your score. Back in a moment. It's the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
When it comes to shopping for insurance, there are thousands of options out there. MVP Insurance proactively shops and compares your policies to find the best coverage and rate. Josh Mathur and David Verratti want to provide you with the level of personalized service that you know that you are the MVP of their agency. They simplify insurance so you can live stress-free. Visit one of the locations in Xenia Leopold or in New Springfield, Ohio. Call MVP for the win. Proud sponsor of the MVP of the game on the Lawrence County SportsNet.
Tired of gasoline costs? Why drive? Let the Newcastle Transit Authority take you where you want to go. Serving the city of Newcastle and stops throughout Lawrence County, as well as weekday service to Pittsburgh. Public transportation just makes sense. Why drive when you can relax and ride? For more information or for route schedules, log on to newcastletransit.org. The Newcastle Transit Authority, going your way. And remember, senior citizens ride free.
Well, kids are coming our way, as the Newcastle Transit Authority is always going your way. Well, going our way with this great crew. Rob Nattell running the production with Aaron Vigiano. You got Brad Schaefer doing his thing. Tori Burke's doing the camera work. Jacob Walzer down on the sideline. Great crew, as always, here from Neshannock High School with the Lawrence County SportsNet. It's been a lot of fun. We have something for your wall photography in the house as well, getting you some great captured images down at the sideline level. Tim Continenza also on the field. Eric Thomas alongside. I'm James Dotson. 2nd and 9 to start the fourth quarter. Keeper from Mazzocco trying to get to the outside. He's got the edge. He's got the 10. He's got the 5. He's got the end zone. First play of the fourth quarter. Neshannock retakes the lead on a 17-yard QB keeper for Gino Mazzocco.
Michael Ponziani just clears so much space on that left side for Mazzocco to run through. He blew his defender off the ball like nobody's business and opened up a gap that Mazzocco could have walked in if he wanted to at that point.
Yeah, once he got to the edge, it was a race to the pylon, and the sophomore able to beat everyone there. His 9th rushing score of the year. The extra point is off the mark. Keep that one in mind. 13-7 your score early fourth quarter. It's lcsportsnet.com, powered by LCAP.
In workers' compensation, my clients are oftentimes not receiving their wage loss. They're not receiving their medical expenses. LGKG, they come to us so that we can put them in a position to pay their bills. If we're keeping our promises, our clients are getting the justice they deserve.
For 20 years, Melee Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Melee Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $30 visit to the Melee Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapy is necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game. Kickoff taken at the 1-yard line for Mohawk. That's Retort. He's going to get out past the 20 to the 22-yard line, and that's where Neshannock defense will come back out. They force their second turnover, and then we can take another look at that touchdown run from Gino Mazzacco on our LCAP instant replay.
Watch the edge, the left edge, and look at this. Look at that block on the left side. That was Blake Logan, who just got blown away over on that side by Ponziani. I mean, what a block. At that point, there is just real estate in front of Mazzacco, and he could have rolled into the end zone if he wanted to.
Now Mohawk's going to have their toughest starting field position as it's holding on the return as well. We'll push it back to about the 12-yard line.
I've said it to you numerous times tonight, and I'm sure people watching tonight are tired of me saying it. Offensive line for Neshannock is the MVP of this game. I do not care who we have to give a shirt to or whatever. Those 5 guys up front have absolutely done their job here tonight.
Well, we'll have to ask the boss if that were to come to fruition, if we can give out multiple shirts. Oh, wait, boss says yes, that would be fun.
How big of a shirt are you going to need for all those guys? Oh, my goodness.
First down, handoff up the middle, trying to gain some room as Boston. He gets tripped up right at the line. In fact, loses a yard on the carry. I would encourage if we had that opportunity. So in the state semifinals for softball last year, we had co-players of the game, but only one shirt. They literally both put the shirt on together to be able to take the picture. I'm not sure if those guys would go for that.
Yeah, we don't have the elasticity to stretch that thing out for those 5 guys. That's a good play up there by Schaefer and also Jackson Mazzacco. That time to cut off the edge. We've said it numerous times tonight, James, about the edge here, and that's going to be paramount for Neshannock to hold their edge defensively on this drive. They've got Mohawk backed up. They can smell it right now. They get a big stop here. This game's going to flip big time.
Play action rolling out is Rona. Stops, fires down over the middle. Another interception! The 3rd turnover of the game, and it's Bonner this time.
Well, Jay's trying to force this in, and he's got the arm strength to do that. But he is trying to thread this thing in between 3 defenders. You're going to see it here. It's an excellent design to roll him out. Gets set. He's got plenty of time. He fires. There you see the 3 guys right around the play. Somebody was stepping in there to make a play defensively, maybe just to knock it down, but instead it's another interception. And now Neshannock's got this team, this Mohawk team, on its heels, and this big offensive line is coming back out to eat some more.
The Medor-Bonner law change in possession courtesy of Anthony Bonner. And again, great field position. Neshannock has had the Mohawk defense on the field plenty tonight. And a chance to take its first 2-score lead of the game. They gave it right to Bonner from that full house backfield, and he's going to lose a yard.
Now what a play by Retort. Again, flying in there from the secondary to get him around the ankles early enough to impede the run. Retort's had a couple of strong plays here of late. This Mohawk defense has to buckle down right now. We wondered a couple weeks ago what would happen if Beaver Falls kept pounding them with the run, and they didn't break in that game, but they also didn't make any mistakes in that game, and that's been the big key here tonight.
Play action, Mazzacco steps up, fires one over the middle of the field, looking for Frasso. It's going to be knocked away. Great play and recovery from Cash Stratton, getting up there and high-pointing it to knock it away.
Yeah, a little bit behind the intended receiver, Frasso, that time, and Stratton was able to get position, stick that hand up there. Very talented freshman. They're high on him for the future. He's going to take over for Justin Boston. You would think next year is one of the primary runners on this team, and also a corner, too. He's showing some mettle tonight by design. No Sam List. They moved Boston over, and Stratton's been out on an island a lot of this game.
3rd down and 11 4 down territory, you suspect yet again.
Oh, I'm going for it on 4th, 5th, 8th, whatever down. I'm trying to keep this ball out of Jay Rona's hands.
And that's the second time the Mohawk defensive line has jumped early.
Now that's going to take it down to 3rd and 6 too. So this is a big penalty. You have this team at 3rd and 11. You can't have an unforced error like that. How about a sophomore twice in one game getting a hard count on a veteran defense?
Yeah, Chapman wanted to get in there. He's got a team-high 7 sacks on the season. That's the second time that Big Alex, the nose guard, has been just a little bit too quick. 3rd and 6 now. Mazzocco design run the whole way, going to the left, cuts up field, and Chapman says, I've had enough of that. He'll make the tackle from behind, but it's now very manageable. 4th down and about 4 to go.
Eakin did his job on the far side, but the rest of the protection just couldn't hang on enough. And Chapman, who's been everywhere tonight, Alex Chapman that is, makes another defensive play. 4 down territory, 4th and 4, got to feel comfortable. Your offense has the hot hand right now. Your offensive line's got the hot hand right now.
Cubelis in the slot to the right, as is Montgomery. Another hard count, nearly got the line to jump. Now they're going to look back with 10 on the play clock, get another play call in. Aiken moves sidecar left. Play action, keeper, Mazzocco spins away from one man, but he's not going to get enough. Driven back short of the line to gain. The Mohawk defense stands and keeps the Warriors alive.
And who's in the mix again from the secondary spot? Dante Retort is one of the guys that's in there to finish him off. Came in there to really give his teammates a little bit more of a push to hold on and not break enough to give up all that yardage. Good design of the play, and Mazzocco does an excellent job to spin away from the first tackler to keep the run alive, but then Retort flying in there again. His 3rd stop in the second half, or at least that he's assisted on, and it gives the ball back to his gunslinger quarterback. He's looking to make amends for a couple of mistakes here.
23 offensive plays in the second half for Neshannock. This is just the 9th for Mohawk. 2 of them have been interceptions. Handoff, Boston up the middle, bounces off his own man, across the 30 to the 32-yard line. His best run of the night. That's a gain of 8.
You got plenty of time left in this game, and still 2 timeouts or 3 timeouts if you're Mohawk. You can still be patient. Again, Rona's forced a couple things here. He trusts his arm. Why wouldn't you? I mean, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the entire conference, regardless of class. So he trusts that right arm. But when you can put that running game with him and hope that you can get chunks of yardage and take some of the pressure off of him, that's key. Boston gets his biggest run at the time they need it the most.
He'll get another handoff on 2nd and 2. Tough sledding here. Maybe a gain of 1, falls forward. Will depend on the spot.
Yeah, you got a good one. You got a good one if that side judge is marking where the ball stopped. And that's going to be a 1st down.
And how about this? That's their first down in the second half, and it comes with 8:42 remaining in the 4th quarter. Only the 6th first down of the game for the Warriors.
You're not taking the ball out of Jay Rona's hands. You're giving him other weapons to ease that pressure from this defense. If you can run the football and soften this team up and then hit him with a rollout or some play action, that's when you get a guy loose. That's basic football 101.
Drops back here on 1st and 10, throws it into the flat, and it's going to be in and out of the hands of Fadden. Looked like he was trying to make the move up the field a bit too quickly. But if you had told me that with 8 minutes remaining in the game that Jay Rona and Gino Mazzocco had attempted the same number of passes, I might have called you crazy.
Well, it's been the pattern the last couple of weeks. You know, Mohawk hasn't gone away from throwing the football. They just ran the ball better last week. Neshannock has thrown the ball better in general the last 3 games. They've trusted Mazzocco more, and that's what I said earlier, is that he's had the hot hand. He's been the hotter of the 2 at this stage of the season.
Backwards pass, I think, to Fadden, and he's got to figure out what he's going to do, and it's not much. Neshannock snuffed that one out because you had both A.J. Verdi and Jackson Chapman serving as almost extra linemen on the edge. That's going to go down as a loss of about 7.
That little screen out to Fadden. If he's not running up the field, Neshannock knows that he's doing something else with it. They're going to stay at home, and they've done that all game long. I mean, Fadden's, I know he's an excellent deep guy or slot guy, but if you're throwing that little look-in screen to him like that, Neshannock read that perfectly.
3rd down and 16 to go. Neshannock will back way off. Play action, 3-man rush, and again having to roll out and buy some time is Rona. Throw back over the middle is going to be behind and incomplete.
Got a flag. They got a flag down on the far side.
Was he past the line of scrimmage when he threw it?
Either past it or there was an ineligible man down the field, perhaps. I don't know who that would have been in that vicinity, so I'm going to say it's probably past the line. He didn't roll out that far, though.
Illegal forward pass is the call. So 5-yard penalty and a loss of down.
It did not look like Rona moved that far up the field to throw that ball. Either way, it falls incomplete, so you're punting no matter what. He's just looking for an outlet to dump that ball off on that play. Nothing down the field. He didn't have time to throw the ball, no room to run.
Now Bonner deep to receive another Blake Logan punt. He does have a punt return for a touchdown on this field this season.
Oh.
Great punt, though, from Logan. Keeps it away out of bounds at about the 31-yard line with 7:09 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 13-9, the Lancers defense has played one gem of a game. Let's give a shout out to Gem Master Buildsman and Craftsman. Visit gembuilders.com for more information. Their extensive construction experience, design capabilities, and creative process allow them to help any project and meet any challenge.
This Neshannock defense and what they've done with these receivers after that initial play to start this game where they had the one-on-one tight coverage and Retort just blew by his man. They have buckled down defensively. They have forced Rona into some tight windows to throw the ball. They forced him into mistakes. Their best asset right now is to keep Mohawk's offense off the field. Doesn't matter if they score really on this drive.
Handoff up the middle and a good way to start the drive with a 5-yard pickup for Anthony Aiken.
I know it doesn't take much for Mohawk to score, but a 5-minute drive, a 6-minute drive here, even if you don't get points. Mix it and match in the personnel. They've done an excellent job with substitutions tonight. The play calling's been sharp for Neshannock. The mix of the run and pass. They've gone to Mazzocco more through the air here in the second half because they trust him more. It's just been a well-designed game by this Neshannock staff.
2nd and 5. Here comes Cubelis, and no, barely able to get the handoff forward to Cubelis was Mazzocco on the high snap. It's going to go for a short gain, and did I see flags fly at the end of that play? I guess not. This has been, no, it's the kids playing football in the background. They're messing with my mind after that 6-yard Cubelis carry.
Again, they sub in and out. They go Montgomery to come back in at that tight end spot. He's been an asset for him tonight.
4th carry for Cubelis to go along with 1 catch. Finding ways to get the ball into your playmakers' hands. Playing that slot receiver role so effectively this year. Midway through the 4th quarter now. 1st and 10 for the Lancers. Aiken another handoff, not a lot of room. Boston and Chapman able to hold him up. Also in there is Dan Monaco for a loss.
Mohawk showed some pressure that time off the edge, but didn't really need to bring it because they saw the run. But here we go, James. I mean, you're down to 5.5 minutes now. And a 2nd down, and even though it's 2nd and 11, the longer the ball's in Neshannock's hands, the better they feel. They just got to keep moving the sticks. There has to be no urgency whatsoever. Just move the sticks.
Mohawk all 3 timeouts left. Neshannock just with 2, but they're going to use every second of this play clock down to 10.
Yep, sure will.
Rightfully so. A well-crafted game plan from the beginning for Coach Mazzocco and the Lancers. They snap it with 1 second. Mazzocco pumps, now scrambling, has a man open in the flat. Bonner with room in front of him. Gets across midfield, gets the 1st down, and stays in bounds at the 40-yard line.
How about splitting the defense there? Stratton, Frasso put his hands on Stratton for a nice block, and then Bonner just split right through the 2 of them to get a couple of extra yards.
One of our keys to the game coming into this one, spread the wealth. We were talking about that from Mohawk with all their receiving options. How about this? That's the 6th Mazzocco completion to 6 different receivers.
If you would have told me that beginning of the year with a sophomore quarterback, no way.
Handoff up the middle for Argero, bounces it to the outside, spins out of 1 tackle, and then he's ripped down by Boston, but again, stays in bounds. Tick, tick, tick with 4:25 left.
Yep, no urgency quite yet for Mohawk, and you have to wonder now what's the range for DeVivo, because 3 points at that point is game over. So you have to consider that, but you also have to keep picking up yardage here. And Mohawk's going to try to hang on to these timeouts as long as they can and use them late if they need them.
Ashton Allison, one of the tight ends, came out on that last play, hobbling a little bit. Coming on the field again is Montgomery. They've both been in and out throughout the course of the evening as well. Cubelis in motion. They're going to go zone read, and the keeper from Mazzacco up the gut, spins inside the 35, down to about the 33-yard line. And again, just positive plays, getting it down the field and making these third and manageable situations.
Keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds, safe, no risky passes. Even the one pass to Bonner, he is wide open coming across the formation. So smart play calling, letting things develop. Offensive line giving the quarterback time, still paving the running lanes. And they can just let this waste down to about 3 minutes. They don't have to worry about hiking this thing just yet.
Neshannock is 2 for 10 on third downs tonight. Cubelis, the man in motion. Again, a keeper from Mazzacco up the middle. Tries to spin for the sticks, but he's going to be about 1.5 yards short.
Now you're going for it on fourth down now. I think you're just, and we've seen DeVivo pump a couple in the end zone tonight, but I think you're going for it here on fourth down, and they're bringing in the extra guys. Actually, they're bringing in Argerota. Who knows? But Mazzacco stays out there, so they're going for this.
Yeah, you got Mazzacco, you got Bonner, Cubelis coming off the field. They're going to go into that power set. They handed it off last time on a 4th and 1. This is about 1.5 to go. They're going to wait 10 seconds on the play clock.
There we go, another City of Brotherly Shove type play.
Handoff, Argero with a head of steam. Second effort, he's got enough to extend the drive. 2:17 remaining. Doesn't look like much, but that 1-2 yard run, no shove needed, but that's a Mainly Chiropractic Play of the Game nominee just because of its significance.
Big offensive line, just lining up to a man, doing it. You haven't seen a Neshannock offensive lineman take a knee in this game, and you're seeing some tired dudes out there from Mohawk, and finally Tim McCutcheon calls a timeout.
We'll take a 30-second Pontius Insurance timeout as well with 2:09 remaining. It's the Lawrence County SportsNet powered by LCAP.
Works in Progress Painting wishes a successful and satisfying season to all the Lawrence County sports teams and athletes. Work hard and bring honor to your team, school, and family in how you play. Joe Wright and his family have been providing painting, window cleaning, and other property services for business and homeowners in the Lawrence County area for over 10 years. Their goal on every project is to provide a meaningful service that honors their customer, God, and their family, and to have fun while doing it. Works in Progress is now booking interior painting projects for both residential and commercial projects. Call Joe today at 724-714-4294 to discuss your next project.
2:09 remaining coming out of the timeout. It'll be 1st and 10. Mohawk just took their first of 3 Pontius Insurance timeouts. Only 2 remaining now. One more first down for Neshannock, and it's going to be tough for Mohawk to even get the ball back. 9th play of the drive. They're going to go with a sweep again to the outside. Cubelis, smart play to come up the field. Gets down to about the 22-yard line, and the clock keeps on ticking.
Tim McCutcheon's going to call his second timeout. They have to get the ball back on this drive. They feel comfortable going out there on the field without any timeouts on offense, but you have to get stops defensively. And how about Cubelis at the very tail end of that run just decides to turn up field. He was angling towards the sideline, decided to cut it back a little bit, turn up field, stay in bounds, force Mohawk to call that timeout. You're seeing some tired dudes from Mohawk right now. They are getting it put to them by this offensive front by Neshannock.
It has been absolutely incredible what this line has done. It's basically what we said was going to be one of the keys to this game was, do you think that they can get the defensive line? Tim, how does it look down there? Tim's already ready for the next play. He sees those big hogs coming. He's getting out of the way, so pardon on that. But this is what's credible. 58 plays, 58 that they have run, Neshannock. Mohawk has run 31, nearly doubling up on play attempts on the day. 2nd down, call it 4 to go. Handoff for Argero. He's got the first down inside the 15, down to the 12, and he holds on to the football as well. A gain of 9. Clock will stop to move the chains momentarily, and it's already winding again.
And Mohawk hanging on to that final timeout. They have yet to call it, and I'm surprised they're going to let this much time. It's academic at this point. As long as Neshannock doesn't fumble the football, they're your MAC champs. I mean, it's as simple as that. You can't let them score in this case. You know, sometimes you hear that adage about letting a team score. No way you can do that here. Field goal ends this game. Neshannock is just going to try to play it out. Mohawk's going to let him do it. Get movement, though.
So flag was thrown with about 5 on the play clock. And Neshannock is going to move back. 1:19 remaining. Again, coming up after the game, we'll have our May the Chiropractic play of the game as well as our MVP Insurance MVP of the game. And while we have a moment, Eric wanted to mention, too, that nominations are open again for your LCAP Team of the Month, as well as your LGKG Male and Female Athlete of the Month. Give a shout out to our powering sponsor, LCAP. Let LCAP Early Learning help your little one blossom. Give them a call at 724-944-7671. Keeper from Mazzocco. Buying time, lets the block set up, but not much there before he's dragged down for a gain of 1. And there's your final timeout with 1:12 remaining.
And it's dire now. If you're Mohawk, you have got to somehow get a stop. You can't stop the clock anyway. You have to try to angle a guy towards the out-of-bounds side. They're not going to run anything to the outside anyway. This is going to be straight up the middle. And realistically, on second down, with a 40-second play clock, you are going to have to run 2 more plays. At least 2 more plays. Now for sure it's going to be 2 more because of the timeout, but this, to me, this has all tonight been about this Neshannock offensive line. And these guys up front have absolutely done their job, and that was one of the storylines coming into the season. That, you know, it was about Mazzocco taking over for Huff and how is the offense going to be, and he had limited playing time last year, and they had pieces to run the football, but the focus of just about everything was this team's got a really good offensive line. And everybody knew it 9 weeks ago, 10 weeks ago. You really know it tonight because they're about to give themselves a conference championship and probably a bye in the first round of the WPIAL playoffs.
So here's the thing, second down. They can kneel it twice and it's over.
They can, yeah. That's what I'm saying. You got to snap it 2 more times and that's it. 40-second play clock.
And this is going to be it. For the 9th time in program history, the Neshannock Lancers are going to be conference champions.
How about the performance by this team tonight? Not just along that offensive line, but defensively. And this running attack and this sophomore stud at quarterback for this Lancers team. Gino Mazzocco didn't need a year to arrive. He needed 8 weeks. He's here now. This guy made play after play tonight, running the football, the big pass early. This team is going to be dangerous because they got this offensive line, and they got a week to think about it, too, and a week to scout somebody. And I'm telling you right now, this team, if they can line up behind that offensive line, they got a chance to go some places.
A rivalry victory, their 9th straight win of the year, conference champions, and likely a first-round bye. The Neshannock Lancers victorious. Final score, Neshannock 13, Mohawk 7. We'll recap it all when we return. It's the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
Don't get left out to dry. Call the Penn Ohio Bottled Water Company for the fastest and most efficient bottled water delivery service in the area. Penn Ohio offers bottled water ranging from 16.9-ounce bottles to 5-gallon jugs, perfect for your next event or office water cooler system. Also, don't forget to ask about their custom labeling options. Visit PennOhioBottledWater.com for more information and to get a quote on their delivery services. Whether it's at home, in the office, or on the sidelines, Penn Ohio has you covered.
At Medore Bonner Law, we're more than just attorneys. We're your community partners. With a combined experience that spans decades, attorneys Jason Medore, Michael Bonner, and Greg Rossitelli are your
Lawrence County SportsNet is proud to honor Sophia Cavelli of
Neshannock. Looking for quality concrete services? Contact the experienced professionals at Doran Concrete. Our company is family, locally owned and operated, and has been serving the community for over 30 years. Get residential or commercial concrete services for any size job. Our skilled professionals offer prompt and reliable services at an affordable price. We believe in the principles of honesty, integrity, and reliability. Get in touch with us for exceptional concrete services at prices that you can afford.
Contractors, the Department of Healthy Homes needs you. From small to large residential projects, you can help families live safer and healthier with the quality work you do. It's rewarding in more ways than one. Call LCAP's Department of Healthy Homes today.
I think the key to any attorney-client relationship is trust. My father told me a long time ago, the definition of personal integrity is really simple. Do what you say you're going to do. At LGKG, we've been doing that for over 80 years.
Castle Asphalt and Construction is driven to provide quality, cost-efficient pavement-related services to Western Pennsylvania. Every paving or construction service at Castle Asphalt begins with a thorough site inspection of the area to allow their team of professionals to become familiar with the unique conditions of your home or business. Once the site inspection is complete, Castle Asphalt provides you with a detailed plan of the design, cost, materials, and time of completion, so you know exactly what to expect during your construction. Visit castleasphalt.com to request a quote for your next project and make your dream design come to fruition.
Welcome back to Neshannock High School. Eric Thomas with you here at Tri-County Principals postgame show. James Dotson down on the field. He's collecting some postgame interviews tonight. He's doing a little double duty here. How about Neshannock tonight? 13-7. They defeat Mohawk. They win the MAC Conference Championship. Likely going to get the number 2 seed in the 2A tournament. Steel Valley should wrap up that number 1 seed. You see the celebration down there. We'll try to get a comment or two from that Neshannock team as well. Before we're all said and done, Tim Continenza is down there as well. We'll try to go to him here in a minute. Let's take a look at some final statistics for you. Let's start first for Neshannock. The big stat of the night, they doubled up in plays against this Mohawk team, 62-31 in terms of plays run here tonight. Works in Progress Painting wishes a successful and satisfying season to all the Lawrence County sports teams and athletes. Work hard and bring honor to your team, school, and family in how you play. Joe Wright and his family have been providing painting, window cleaning, and other property services for business and homeowners in the Lawrence County area for over 10 years. Their goal on every project is to provide a meaningful service that honors their customer, God, and their family, and to have fun while doing it. Works in Progress is now booking interior painting projects for both residential and commercial projects. Call Joe today at 724-714-4294 to discuss your next project.
And with that, they also caused 3 turnovers for you. Yeah, we got heat on them without bringing pressure a few times, and our secondary were right in their spots. They did an excellent job hugging up their receivers, and, we did what we had to do. Becoming champions here tonight. Just talk about your team from the beginning of summer till today and what they have achieved. And we're a young team, but these kids play hard. I don't care what the score is, what the situation is. They just keep coming and coming and coming. And when you have that resiliency, like we preach to them, good things happen. My coaching staff did an outstanding job preparing the defense for this game. Them as well. So, great job to the staff. Tremendous job by the players with their effort. Coach, congratulations. Go celebrate with your team. Appreciate your time.
All right, Tim Continenza down on the sideline working for us here tonight. And we appreciate his efforts down on the sideline. A victorious Fred Mazzacco, and in his 11th year, wins his 101st game tonight. They've been in the playoffs 10 of 12 years, and he has just done an outstanding job since taking over here as the head coach of Neshannock. Now 29-4 against Lawrence County teams since he has become the head coach, and more impressively, in conference games at home, 42-4 in conference games at home, which is a remarkable number. They're going to get a home playoff game if they get the number 2 seed in that WPIAL tournament. They will get the number 2 seed and get a game here at home. Now, Mohawk, we don't know for sure yet. As the brackets come out tomorrow at 3 o'clock, they're going to likely get a chance to host the game in the first round. Probably going to be here if they have to put the game on turf. It's close by. We'll wait and see. You can tune into the Trib Live High School Sports Network tomorrow at 3 o'clock. It sounds like they're going to have the brackets unveiled, as we have a couple games that take place yet tomorrow to determine all those seedings. Let's take a look now at the statistics from tonight's game. Jay Rona only had 10 attempts tonight and completed, it looks like, 5 of them rather, for 71 yards. So this Neshannock defense does its job tonight, as you see the Lancers walking off the field here tonight on senior night. Justin Boston, 14 carries for 34 yards. Jay Rona had 4 carries for 26. And that is it as far as rushing the football. So a week after Boston goes for 40 carries and a season high in terms of yards, tonight 14 carries, 34 yards. They forced Rona to throw the football. He was picked off twice, and he had to try to fit some into some tight windows. Receiving-wise for Mohawk tonight, Dante Retort had the big 44-yard reception to start things, and then only had another catch after that, finished with 2 catches for 48 yards. Joey Nail had the big catch in this game to keep a drive alive, and he finished with 2 catches for 21 yards. Justin Boston had the other reception for 2 yards. For Neshannock tonight, Gino Mazzacco attempted 11 passes, 6 of 11 tonight for 108 yards, and he led 2 successful touchdown drives. Also did it with his legs tonight, 19 carries for 90 yards, and they shared the wealth tonight. Argiro had 10 carries for 42 yards, 5 carries for 28 yards for Cubelis, who was effective on that jet sweep. Eakin tonight had 14 carries for 38 yards, and Bonner had 1 for 7. Receiving-wise for Neshannock tonight, Bonner 1 for 20, Eakin 1 for 41. Frasso had 1 for 38, Cubelis had 1 for 3. But again, the big number for the Lancers tonight, 62 plays run in this game compared to 31 for Mohawk. Well-played game in terms of penalties. Wasn't many here tonight, as each had 2. Let's see, Mohawk had 4 penalties tonight, and Neshannock had 2. And just really a couple of big ones for Neshannock. Drew Mohawk off sides a couple times. One was deep in their territory in the first quarter. One was in the second half, late in the fourth quarter there, when they were trying to ice this game, and they ended up doing that as they go on to win it tonight here, 13-7 over Mohawk. Tim Continenza joins us up here in the booth as James Dotson down on the sideline or down on the field talking to Freddie Mazzacco tonight. I mean, this game tonight, and we'll get to it here in a minute, the offensive line for Neshannock tonight was just off the charts.
Oh, absolutely. Both sides of the ball for Neshannock, I thought, did a phenomenal job, but that offensive line just dominated with their play, especially in the second half. And you got to give a lot of credit to the Lancers defensive line. They were able to put pressure on Rona and cause some turnovers and cause to keep him uncomfortable, and really never was able to find any of his receivers in any given rhythm tonight. I thought they really, when you look at this game tonight, when you talk about it, you're going to talk about the offense and defensive line for the Lancers. That was, to me, the key tonight.
You were down there field level to watch this tonight, and just, I mean, we saw a couple times from our vantage point just the way they were blocking on Mazzacco's second touchdown, on the second touchdown run to put this game away. A huge block by Ponziani. I mean, he just pulls out to the left side and blows Blake Logan off the ball. And Mazzacco could have, if he wanted to, he could have crawled in the end zone at that point. That hole was so big.
It really was, and that was really the key. The entire offensive line did a tremendous job. I watched Vernon Ussie in the first half be able to blow open the hole for Gino to run through towards that touchdown, and it was just an amazing job. I thought the intensity was on both sides of the ball for both teams was at the high level, you know, playoff caliber level. You could see what was on the line here tonight. To win the section championship, and it was very important to both teams to come out and play their best. But I'll tell you what, this Lancer team didn't want to be denied at home, and they did everything they needed to do. They ran the play clock down under 5 seconds most of the night. They tried to really shorten the game, keep the ball away from that Warriors offense, and they did a terrific job. And the running game behind that offensive line really was the story of tonight's game.
This Lancers team got to the WPIAL final in 2016. They lost to Steel Valley. Steel Valley is going to be the #1 seed in this tournament. Neshannock probably going to be the #2 seed in this tournament. Too early to say because there's a lot that has to be done. Yeah, and I mean, Beaver Falls is still going to be a factor. Mohawk, you figure, is still going to be a factor. McGuffey's still going to be a factor. Do they have what it takes to make a run again?
I think they do. You know, it's going to be interesting. I really going to come down to what we've seen here tonight. Will the offense and defensive lines be able to do the things they did tonight, really control the ball game? And I thought the play calling was really good. They really set up the pass game well. They ran the ball left and right, you know, a lot to the edges. And then after you get tired of seeing that, they had people motion to the left or to the right, and they went back to pass and down the seam, and they found a few people open during that time. So I thought they really tried to set up the Warriors' defense throughout the night and did a nice job. Even when it didn't work, where it was incomplete, that was okay because it put it in their mind that they had to pay attention to the pass game, and that opened up some more running room for Aiken and others.
Jay Rona tonight struggles. What did you see down on the field? What they were doing defensively to confuse him? I mean, tight windows, 2 picks, but he just couldn't get in a rhythm.
He didn't have time. They were on him every time they were able to flush him out, and he was on the run. And you know, you're trying to make a play when you're on the run, and he threw across his body a couple times, and paid the heavy price for that. And that was really key, though. I thought again, those interceptions are really a result of the defensive line and the pressure they were able to put. They were able to get penetration, and you haven't seen that this year too often against the Warriors, where their opponent was able to get into their backfield, and I thought that was really a key tonight.
Let's give out a couple of awards here tonight. We'll start first with our MVP Insurance MVP of the Game Award. We're going to give it to the offensive line for Neshannock. I don't know that there's any reason why you wouldn't. These big guys
totally
up
agree
front,
with that.
Yep, left to right, Jackson Mazzacco, Tony Parada, Joey Vernosi, and Michael Ponziani, and Aiden Schaefer up front tonight did the job for this team. They plowed the way. Mazzacco had 2 touchdown runs. We'll get to him in a second, but this offensive line tonight was absolutely at its peak, and this is a team that, you know, where some of these other teams have put together good results during the season, this Neshannock team has just been getting better and better and better, and you can argue they're playing their best at the end of the season, and this offensive line's a big reason why.
Kind of what Coach talked about with me on the field, and I says, when you began this summer and now where you're at, what are you talking about? He talked about his team and the effort they give every day, and I think that effort's paying off, and as you said, you've seen this team just build week after week, and after the fastest 10 weeks in football, here we are knocking on the door to the WPIAL playoffs, and Neshannock is on top.
So MVP Insurance is proud to present the MVP of the Game Award to the Neshannock offensive line. MVP Insurance and the Lawrence County SportsNet are proud to honor the Neshannock offensive line as tonight's MVP of the game. The O-line will try to get them all a customized T-shirt courtesy of the Red Zone in recognition of being named tonight's MVP of the game. To view the full list of this year's game MVPs, go online to lcsportsnet.com and click on MVP of the game. Congratulations to that O-line of the Lancers for being tonight's MVP of the game. MVP Insurance, call MVP for the win. The Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game Award, I don't think there's any reason why you wouldn't go this way. Gino Mazzacco's game-winning touchdown run in the fourth quarter, 11:51 to go. They did miss the extra point, but a 6-play, 31-yard drive. It was a 17-yard run, aided, as we just mentioned, by Ponziani's block of Blake Logan on the left side of that. So with that, Maley Chiropractic is proud to present the Play of the Game Award to Gino Mazzacco of Neshannock. Maley Chiropractic and the Lawrence County SportsNet are proud to honor Gino for tonight's Play of the Game. Gino will receive a customized T-shirt courtesy of the Red Zone in recognition of tonight's Play of the Game. Video of tonight's Play of the Game may also be featured on the Trib Live High School Sports Network's standout platform on Twitter and Instagram. To view tonight's Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game and the full list of this season's top plays, go online to lcsportsnet.com and click on Play of the Game. Congrats to Gino for tonight's Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game. Let Maley Chiropractic keep you in the game. Any final thoughts here? Neshannock is your conference champ, and we go on to the playoffs starting next week.
Well, you know, they're going to get the well-deserved opportunity to rest and look forward to their next game. I'll tell you what, I don't think Mohawk's done yet. I think this is just a little, you know, they were just a few plays from doing something well here tonight. So this team, for the Warriors, you know, on any given play, they can hit a big play. And that's probably what they're trying to do tonight, but you got to give a lot of credit to the Lancers defense and taking that away from them and really causing them to be uncomfortable all night long.
That's going to do it for our coverage here tonight. Your MAC champs, the Neshannock Lancers, they defeat Mohawk tonight 13-7. Again, tomorrow afternoon, brackets released. Don Rebel will have the show for you on the Trib Live's High School Sports Network. We believe that's going to be at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Now, again, there are some games tomorrow that need to finish or at least have an idea as to where all the seeds are going to be, so they're pushing that back a little bit. It was supposed to be noon. Now it's 3 o'clock. You can tune into Trib Live to find out the brackets and then log on to Trib Live later on or WPIAL.org to find all the brackets. Second season starts next week. Both these teams are in it. Neshannock's going to get likely a week off, so we'll see them in a couple weeks. Mohawk will play next week. Site time to be determined. Again, we'll have coverage updates for you on the LC SportsNet. Just go to the website and see where we're going to be next week. Big thanks to everybody working here in the background to get this game on the air. Keep it looking nice. For my partners, Tim Continenza and James Dotson. Final score for the final time. Neshannock, your MAC champs, 13-7 over Mohawk. You've been watching live coverage tonight on the LC SportsNet, powered by LCAP. Have a great weekend.
Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet.